Vanderpump Rules, season 11. We have one more part to the reunion, but these people on this show are not shutting up. Everybody's talking. Joe's allegedly a compulsive liar. Lala's getting called out. So much stuff is going on, you guys. We're going to get into it. So grab something to drink. Hopefully, you're wearing something comfy, and let's get started.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold, but don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, stand-up comedian and pop culture vulture, Joleen Lunzer, here on a Saturday afternoon with another episode of No Offense, All Offense. As I spill my beverage, I'm getting pouring in my cup. This is the YouTube pop culture live show where we never mean to offend anyone, but someone's probably going to get offended. We take a comedic look at our favorite television shows, pop culture stories, and anything in between. So just a warning, you guys, if you're new here, I'm opinionated, but that doesn't mean you have to just agree with my opinion. You can have your own opinion as long as we just respect each other and agree to disagree. And you can put it in the chat or in the comment section after the video posts.
That's my opinion!
It's just my opinion. Yes. Remember, everything I say is true, except for the parts that are false. Everything is alleged for entertainment purposes only. Hopefully, you guys are having a great Saturday. I see so many of you in the chat. Hello. If you want to support the channel further than liking or subscribing, you know the drill. You can send a super chat while we're live. You can send a super thanks after the video posts. You can hit me up on the Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. Everything is at the bottom of the screen and in the description of the video. Or you can join my YouTube membership or check out my Patreon. Thank you, Sam asked for becoming a YouTube member. Oh my gosh, Sasquatch, thank you so much. Sasquatch gifted 10 memberships. You can also gift memberships like Sasquatch did, which is unbelievably kind, and I'm so grateful and generous. Thank you so much. So Sasquatch, shout out to those of you that got some memberships to the channel, and Alexia became a member as well. So thank you, you guys. Now let me know all your hopes, dreams, thoughts, and opinions in the live chat. Okay, we have so much to talk about. We have so much. We're gonna play some audio. We're gonna roast it. We're gonna react to it. We try to find the funny. We take a comedic look, but it's also a very opinionated look. So that's what you're in for today. Lala Buffenmeyer. Oh my gosh, Lala and Christy. Hello, a member for 31 months, which is ridiculous. Thank you so much, Lala and Christy. Lala says, "Hi, Jolene. Happy Saturday. We're glad to see you." I'm glad to see you guys too. I wanted to go live yesterday, but I've been struggling with my arm stuff, and hopefully they're gonna give me an MRI here, but first we're doing PT, and you guys know, I mean, everybody's got something going on in their life, and I got some arm, shoulder, head, shoulders, knees, and toes going on. So yesterday was it was not my day. And then the Timberwolves lost, and I was just like, 2 losses at home. Oh my gosh. But I'm still wearing my Timberwolves t-shirt because I guess I'll forgive them, but I was ready to dump them yesterday. Jamie B, thank you so much. Jamie B, is today our 3-year anniversary. Jamie B has been a member for 36 months. That is fantastic, Jamie B. Not only a member of the channel, but like fam, okay? Shout out to all of my mods. All right, you guys. So yesterday, it seemed like everybody was out here talking about Vanderpump Rules. All right. So much stuff is going on in the pop culture world as it is, but we had all of these podcasts. So Schwartz went on Britney and Jax's podcast to talk about Joe, and we're going to listen to that and react to that today. And Jax wasn't there, but Britney was. And Britney, oh my God, Britney is a really bad interviewer. Okay, we'll play it. We'll listen to it. Kristen was on her podcast clearing up some of these alleged Joe lies. Faith, who was on Vanderpump Rules back in the day, she was on her podcast talking about Lala. And who am I missing? Oh, Joe went back on Rachel Raquel's podcast.
Thanks a lot, Rachel. Thanks a lot.
And I'm like, didn't we already do this? But you know what? we're here for it. We are here for it. But yeah, she went back on Rachel Raquel's podcast and they put out a 29-minute episode yesterday. So we're going to be listening to parts of Balancing Act with Kristen Doute and Luke talking about Vanderpump Rules and this Joe situation. We're going to be listening to Joe on Rachel Raquel. Oh my goodness. We're going to be listening to Schwartz talk about Joe on Britney's podcast. We have so much to talk about. So let's get right into it. Okay, you guys, let me pull up a little screenshot here first. So I'm going to actually, you know what? I think we're going to start with the Britney and Schwartz interview. So Britney's podcast and Schwartz podcast Britney and Jax's podcast, which now since they're separated or whatever the hell they're doing, I don't know if he's on with her anymore. I don't listen to this podcast. I don't know if I could think of two people I want to listen to less when it comes to podcasting would be, Britney and Jax would be right up there, number one. But since she had Schwartz on and Schwartz is talking about Joe. So we know that they have been between Sheena and Kristen and Schwartz. They have been very cryptically telling us that Joe is just this alleged liar and Schwartz had to cut Joe out of his life completely. Okay. Joe is still in love with Schwartz. She's still trying to find her way back in, but Schwartz had to block her because he was like, it's just some things she did. So we're going to listen to him and react to what he says she did. Because we've been like, well, just say it, don't spray it. You know what I mean? Like, if we're going to keep saying this, let's say it. Thank you, Artist, for the first super chat of the live. Artist says 29 minutes of Joe with Rachel, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, with Lala and Lala. And thank you so much, NYCMP, for the super chat. Says, we will all see the new ending with the cast. Are you talking about this week on the reunion part 3? We will all see the new ending with the cast. Is there a different ending that we're going to see? Oh my goodness. Let's get into it. Thank you, NYCMP. All right. So first things first, I haven't listened to all of this. I screen recorded it and then I fell asleep yesterday while screen recording it. Not because it was boring, but just because it was one of those days. Okay, so let me find it here. All right. Is this okay? No, that's Vanderpump Rules party. We talked about that previously. Okay. And let's get this party. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Okay. So this is Britney and Jax's podcast, When Reality Hits, or reality something. And when reality hits and Schwartz responds to Joe. So let's take a listen. And you guys, please let me know all your thoughts, hopes, dreams, and opinions as we cover this.
You gotta put sunglasses on to make you invincible.
I do that. What if I put sunglasses on too?
Also, I think she's recording this in her Airbnb and the sound quality is horrendous. All right, so just a warning. And yes, Miss Diamond, there's 392 in here. Please hit that like. We only got 116 likes. Let's see if we can get up to 500 likes during the live.
Okay, so I was going to have a surprise guest, Tom Schwartz, on to recap a lot of the drama going on the Vanderpump Rules reunion, but things have been spiraling out of control online with Joe. And I feel like Schwartz needs to address some things that are going on because, you're a good guy. And I feel like it's not really.
Brittany, remember when you were good friends with Katie? Come on now. Jax and Brittany have this need to just bail Schwartz out and just blow smoke up his ass and tell him what a good guy he is. I don't know. I'm not seeing a lot of good guy coming out of Schwartz these days, but okay, Brittany. And she's going to say this quite a bit.
Fair that it's so one-sided. Last time Schwartz was on here, the podcast, he didn't want to mention her name at all because out of respect for her, he just wasn't trying to go there. And I appreciate that. And I think that's great. But now the lies are getting a little crazy. So everyone, say hello to Mr. Tom Schwartz.
What's up, everybody? Hi, Brett.
Hi.
How are you?
How are you feeling?
Well, I know we're supposed to do like a fun reunion recap.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like, listen, I've tried not to touch this. I've taken the high road. I am Mr. Rise Above. I don't go looking for negative stuff online, but people
And unfortunately, we're going to listen to Schwartz spew a lot of his mumbo jumbo. A lot of where he thinks, I'm so smart and I don't seek this stuff out. I'm so positive. But you do seek it out. You do cause problems. And this is part of your character, sir.
Like send you stuff. And like I'm seeing Joe talking shit about me, like random clips, you know. And I've tried not to respond, like just ignore it, you know, like saying I'm her soulmate, reading my text, you know, on a live stream. And it like I just feel like I have to address this.
Yeah, you
know
have
what
to.
I mean? It's like because I'm starting to get really negative comments on my social.
Britney go, and you have to. Yeah, better charge. You got to do it on my podcast because me and Jackson's busting up. I'm living in Airbnb. He says I'm a drug. So now he says he's not living in the comment section, but all these people live in the comment section because he just got done saying he's getting some really mean comments. Every time they say this, I just think of the South Park episode. I got to bring that little clip on here. In my safe space. And when reality comes and hits them, that's when they're like, everyone's so mean. I'm like, or it's just reality pointing out the reality of the situation and not stroking your ego.
Her soulmate, reading my text, you know, on a live stream. And it like I just feel like I have to address this.
Yeah, you have to.
I mean?
You have
it's like, 'cause I'm
to.
starting to get really negative comments on my social media.
You have to.
You have to.
It's like it's not getting to me, but it's like I just want to address it, okay?
And you said nothing but nice things about her. Let me make that clear. Schwartz only says nice things about her. He does not like put her down, talk crap about her at all.
Thank you.
But now things are kind of like spiraling out and lies are being spread. And that's why I really think that Schwartz needed to like address this.
Thank you, Brett. And okay, at the top though, let's acknowledge like clearly she's acting out, you know? Her feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to invalidate her feelings, but also I have feelings and they're valid too. Okay. I got feelings.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
Okay. I just want to like I want to shine a light on my point of view and why I pulled away from her. Okay. Because I feel like she's kind of using social media to create like this sort of, I don't know, poor me, I got played breadcrumbing narrative, you know, but she's building like, she's building a following at my expense. And I'm getting tired of it. You know what I mean?
I mean, the videos have been a lot.
That's what I mean. Like the live streams, like I just want to clear some things up. She's blocked on my social media. Like she's deleted from my contacts, you know, but people send me this shit like unsolicited. And this will probably be like the last time I talk about it, hopefully. But it's
Famous last words. This will, in fact, not be the last time he talks about her because it never is when people say that. Okay. So he's very frustrated that she's building a fan base off him. Well, I mean, sir, you did bring her on the show. I love that. He's mad. But I mean, she is definitely playing a victim role. But oh God, I wish she was out there exposing his text messages more, but she's kind of simped back into like, he's great. I love him. So, I mean, Joe, I think we need to see some more text messages.
just really, it's frustrating to see her playing the role of like a victim. Okay. It's like sometimes you really dig somebody and then you find some things out about them that causes you to look at them in a completely different way. You know what I mean? Or sometimes you just really dig somebody and then the feelings go away.
Yeah, you were just having fun, kind of. I feel like you went through a lot with your relationship, and you were going through a divorce and everything else. So
Yeah, no, of course. And like, okay,
Well, then maybe you shouldn't tell him you love him and that you're going to marry him in 8 years and make these little jokes because you're too weak to actually man up because you're too much of a chicken shit because you're trying to please everybody and manipulate everybody and doing this. And I'm such a nice guy. Tell her how you be like, hey, girl, I just want you to move in with me for a little bit because I'm going to weaponize you against my ex-wife on the show. I'm going to hide behind you so I don't have to show really my whole life. And I want to bang you. Why don't you just try that? But you won't.
I will acknowledge, like, just for the record, I think people know this, but like, we hung out so much. We had such a good time together. Like, we had some sort of whatever you want to call it, but you know, we spent a lot of time together, and it was so fun. But we were never in any sort of conventional, exclusive relationship. And we were coasting in like a pretty nice direction, I think, until like maybe like at the beginning of filming. And that's where I don't know, maybe I started to know like some erratic behavior, maybe some red flags. Like,
yeah, I was going to ask you because so many people were wondering. She did that like one live where her friend was in the background, and people kept asking her what was the one big thing that made you and Schwartz, or that made Schwartz like stop talking to you, or like, back up from the relationship? And she was like, I don't know. We don't know what that one thing was.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see that, but like listen, I don't.
Was it one thing, or was it lots of things?
It was a lot of things.
Yeah.
It was a lot of things, and I'm not going to divulge most of those things. But
yeah, you don't have to.
Like, one of the biggest things.
Brittany, you're horrible at this. Yes, he has to. Encourage him to divulge it all. You want the tea, girl. The tea. All right? You guys got to pay your bills. All right? You got a house. You got an Airbnb. Come on now. Come on, girl. Jenny Craig is not paying that well. Yes, you got a second season on the Valley, but you got to get that money, honey. Oh, you don't have to, Bear Chase. No, he's got to.
Is I found out that I'm not going to, in my experience, she's a compulsive liar.
Yeah.
Okay.
That part, I think I fell asleep a little bit after this. A compulsive? Let me look up the exact definition of compulsive, because that's let's just pull it up right here. A pathological liar is someone who excessively lies. They exhibit a pattern of consistent dishonesty that feels impossible to stop. Pathological lying involves an irrational need to fabricate stories, events, or facts. It's compulsive. What is the root of compulsive lying? Compulsive lying is usually thought to develop in early childhood. Well, sir, remember me and Ryan Bailey talked about this. Shout out to So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey. She told a story basically saying she invented the Ninja Turtles. She said she put a turtle on a, like she went, took it on a walk, put a leash on it, and then it fell into the sewers. That's like the Ninja Turtles. You didn't think that was a little weird? You didn't think, maybe she's not telling the truth there? So it can develop in early childhood due to being placed in an environment where lying was necessary and routine. I don't know what it's like in Kohler, Wisconsin, but who knows, okay? A lot of them find it easy to avoid confrontations with the truth. Hence, they stick to lying. Compulsive liars may or may not experience a mental disorder. And that's according to the interwebs. That's very serious. We're going to listen to that one more time.
Lots of
things. It was a lot of things.
Yeah.
It was a lot of things. And I'm not going to divulge most of those things. But
yeah, you don't have to.
Like one of the biggest things is I found out that I'm not going to, in my experience, she's a compulsive liar.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know this firsthand. I will say this whenever, I'm just going to say this story because I feel like people do need to realize this. Because whenever Kristen's dog Bowie passed away, she was telling people that Jax and I called her and told her that Kristen's dog passed away. I don't even have her phone number. I haven't talked to her in years and years and years. So for me, that was just like, why?
Okay. Whoa. I think I really fell asleep like right after the compulsive liar thing because I don't remember her saying this. Okay. So Brittany's saying, I could confirm that. I could I'll tell you about that, Bear Chase. Apparently Brittany's saying, so Schwartz says she's a compulsive liar. Brittany says, yeah, when Kristen's dog Bowie passed away, R.I.P., Joe lied and said that Jax and Brittany told her that the dog passed away. Oh my God, Martha. Yes, Joseph Reindeer, the Martha. If this is true, oh my God.
Whenever, I'm just going to say this story because I feel like people do need to realize this. Because whenever Kristen's dog Bowie passed away, she was telling people that Jax and I called her and told her that Kristen's dog passed away. I don't even have her phone number. I haven't talked to her in years and years and years. So for me, that was just like, why? Like, what's the point of saying that?
Yeah.
Like, that was just such a lie.
That's the thing. Like, some of her lies are just, like, benign.
For no reason.
They're just benign, nonsensical, kind of outlandish lies. But some of them, like, I'll talk about this. I'll touch on it. I'm not going to go into detail.
Yeah.
Because I just, like, I don't want to grudge or anything like that. But, like, some of them were malicious or manipulative. And low-key, I feel like kind of what she's doing with these live streams, like, building a following at my expense. And, like, I feel like she's, it's slightly manipulating the audience, too. But, like, again.
That's what I was saying with a lot of this stuff. It seems like she's very good at developing this victim-like complex. She's always the victim of every situation. She's the victim or she's the hero. I've seen people like this behave like this on YouTube. So I'm kind of familiar with this kind. And then when she starts asking for money, and then the minute there's any pushback, like, well, what money is going toward this? She freaks out on people when she invites people to ask about her dog Checkers. Okay. Oh my gosh. Cobra Kai. Thank you so much for the super chat. It says Schwartz had no problem proposing to Sandoval, but admitting he had a relationship with Joe made him have a heart attack. Exactly. If he really did respect this woman and care about her, he would have had no problem putting a title on what they were, but he didn't. Joe was definitely used, I think, in a lot of ways by Tom Schwartz, because how quickly he was able to put a label on his 23-year-old girlfriend, Sophia, and he was okay with labels. I mean, it took him a while, ring on a string, to put a wife label on Katie. But oh my gosh. Yes, Carly, a perpetual victim. You always have to be that's a red flag now. If someone is always a victim, always out there like, oh, woe is me, poor me. And you're just like, huh? And Joe is definitely giving off those vibes. Oh, what did we say early on in this saga? And people were like, Jolene, don't, not you guys, but other people, they'd be like, Jolene. I was like, this is going to be a dirty Joe, like a dirty John situation. There's just something that doesn't smell right. Hashtag Katie Maloney was right.
Well, she keeps saying that you're her soulmate.
Let's get into that.
Yeah,
okay?
please.
So
What's happening?
So all right, just so they have an idea, like the first one, the first time I was like, oh my God, like, holy shit, that caught me really off guard. It's kind of a doozy.
I was gonna say, did she say that to you? Like, was she open, like, you're my soulmate to you?
No, she was not like that to me.
Yeah.
We had a great connection, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's established.
Yeah.
We were hanging out a lot.
Yeah.
By the way, she never lived with me. Just for the record, Joe has her own place. She has like a rental property. Okay. She has an apartment. Never lived together.
Again, as much as we can believe Schwartz, because we do know Schwartz to be a liar. Like Sunny Shine is saying, unfortunately, both the Toms are liars, and they've proven it. Schwartz has been a cheater, a liar, fibbed, not been honest with Katie. So it's interesting that now he's calling out a compulsive liar when he and Sandoval. I mean, your best friend Tom Sandoval is definitely a compulsive liar too, and he lies about some pretty crazy stuff as well. I would argue maybe crazier, but we'll keep listening. NYCMP, thank you so much for the super chat. Says Schwartz met his match. Joe is a psycho. Hide your bunnies. Hide your bunnies. I am like, this could end up an episode of Snapped, and I hope not. I just want her to expose him, but I don't want this to be an episode of Snapped, even though I do love a good episode of Snapped.
But without a doubt, like, we had a great connection. And like around the time we started filming is where I started slowly pulling away. And like one of the main reasons was like the first lie that I substantiated and I found out. It's like just like casually one day she mentioned that she used to babysit for one of our executive producers' kids.
Yeah.
And she told me that, and I was like, I was telling her.
She told you that to your face.
Just so nonchalantly, and she was like, because I was telling her about the pitfalls of doing reality television, and how somehow it's like, things can get taken out of context. It can distort your image. And she's like, no. It's like, I'm not worried about that, because like I babysit your executive producer's kids.
Oh my God.
And it's like, and I have no reason.
What is the
have
point?
No reason to question that. But I asked him like weeks later, and he's like, no, I had never met her before the show started. That was the first seed of doubt.
Yeah. You're like, whoa. Like, what's the point of that lie?
You should talk about Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog's kids. Which executive producer? Because there's Alex Baskin-Robbins, Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog, Lisa Vanderpump. There's probably a couple more. So Joe said, oh, I'm not worried about the edit I get on the show or anything or what's going to happen, because I used to babysit the executive producer's kids. And then Schwartz asked the executive producer, and they're like, no, she's never babysat.
We were never in any sort of conventional relationship, so I didn't confront her. I was just like, okay, and I started slowly pulling away at that point. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then
see, what he's trying to do is get off the hook here. You brought in a compulsive lying. I mean, your best friend Tom Sandoval too is one, but you brought this woman into the friend group, and Katie warned everyone, spooky, things are moving. You're like, oh my God, you're so mean, Katie, you're so mean. And she's like, oh my God, Schwartz, you are just like a serial killer's wet dream. And now he's trying to get out of his responsibility to this woman and to bringing her into this group by saying, it was just a situationship. It wasn't anything. We didn't label it. Sir, you banged her on the regular. You told each other you loved her. And we heard you say on the show, then this wouldn't be the first problematic man to ever say something like this. Like, I had an ex like that. He was horrible. And he's like, in the future, I'll come find you And then down the road, I'll be better and we can get married. I'm like, bitch, I am going to forget you exist so fast. Don't call me. And then he did try to call me and I was like, no, block. Straight to voicemail, then a block. See if you leave a pathetic message and then a block. I hate that shit. It's like, I'll find you years down the road and we'll move to California together. No, bitch, I'm going to move to California by myself. Okay. With my now husband. So no, don't find me. Okay. Cause I was never lost. You lost me. Goodbye. But I could see that's kind of what he was doing with Joe, where he would be like, in 8 years, we'll get married. That's when I'll be ready. When you're 90, sir, you are too old to be 8 years. 8 years. Come on. That's nursing home status. No, sir.
I went on, we filmed, we had a good time. I thought we could just stay friends. Like, people started coming out of the woodwork and telling me things about her. And I would like shut
Katie?
them down. Sometimes even go to bat for her and defend her. It's like the thing that really...
Was it ever a red flag for you that she just kind of like stopped talking to Kristen?
I mean, I never, at the time, no. I gotta be honest though, I was down. I was like fucked up. I was in my own world. I was vulnerable. I was not thinking right.
Right.
Like as time went on, like some other things happened. In particular, I'm not going to go into this, but there's some, like I said,
we need to hear some things because you need to say your side
first
a
of all,
little bit.
After what I just
there
told
you go, Brittany.
after, I shouldn't even have to say anything else, but like some of the things that happened were kind of manipulative and malicious. Joe is not a bad person. She's not malicious, but some of the things I found out that she told my family behind my back really...
Your family, too. Yeah.
Like my mom told me, my sister told me, my brother told me. And it's just, honestly...
do you think that was the biggest thing of why you started pulling away? Because your family got involved?
For sure.
Yeah.
Because my family got involved and they were...
And your family's super close. You're so close to them.
Really fucking dangerous accusations. And I don't even know if she remembers this, Joe, if you're listening. I don't even know if she remembers this shit.
She's listening. So she fudged with his family. Oh my God.
I just based on I don't know if I want to recount it.
You should.
I don't want to recount it,
just
but
say it.
She went behind my back and called my family and said some fucked up things. And her and my sister were they were like two peas in a pod. I swear to God, my sister was her biggest fan in the world.
Yeah, you even told me that your sister really liked her.
She spent 2 nights with Joe, and she said it was one of the worst experiences of her entire life. Just think about this. It's kind of a profound statement. She spent 2 nights with her. She had to block her afterwards. And she's like, I'm traumatized. She apologized to me profusely for weeks for trying to push her on me. And I was trying to explain to her, Joe's a great person. She's cool, but I just know, there's no longevity here.
Yeah.
And I just don't think, I have some reservations about it. But anyways, not going to go into detail.
I mean, that kind of says a lot.
His sister. So have we seen Schwartz's sister? Maybe. I don't recall in the show. I know we saw the triplets. So his sister, he's saying, spent 2 nights with Joe. She was a huge Joe fan. Joe probably love bombed her and was just like, oh my God, you're so great. Oh my God, you're my best friend. Da, da, da. And spent 2 nights with her. It sounds like post breakup or post situationship breakup. And the sister said it was the worst. Did he say it was the worst? Oh my gosh. Okay, they were like 2 peas in a pod, his sister and Joe, and dangerous accusations, she told the family. And then the sister hangs out with Joe, according to Schwartz, after, she had called, or maybe this was before, she had called his family and said some really effed up things, according to him. And then 2 nights with Joe, the sister spent. And according to him, she said it was one of the worst experiences of her entire life. Oh my God. Call Diane Sawyer. Call Gail King. We need cameras. We need an interview. We need a 2020 ASAP. What happened, Schwartz sister? Is she in Florida? Do you want to talk about it? Come on the channel, girl. We'll get you through it. One of the worst experiences of your life? Just think of about this kind of profound statement. She spent 2 nights with her. She had to then block her afterwards, and she was traumatized. What did she do to this girl? Did she try to make a blood oath with her? Did she put a spell on her? Did she do the craft? What happened? Did she sacrifice something in front of her? What in the American Horror Story is going on here? You can't just leave us hanging, but I think he's going to leave us hanging. Oh my gosh.
Tell me that your sister really
she
liked
spent
her.
2 nights with Joe, and she said it was one of the worst experiences of her entire life. Just think about this. It's kind of a profound statement. She spent 2 nights with her. She had to block her afterwards, and she's like, "I'm traumatized." She apologized to me profusely for weeks for trying to push her on me. And I was like, I was trying to explain to her, like, Joe's a great person, like she's cool, but I just know, like, there's no longevity here.
Yeah.
And like, I just don't think, like,
Sunny Shine wins. I think that's what happened. Schwartz's sister, Joe brought Schwartz's sister to one of Sandoval's karaoke shows. And he was like, "Baby, you're like lightning in a bottle." And then Schwartz's sister's like, "No, Megan, stop. Megan, stop." Oh my God. This is crazy.
I have some reservations about it, but anyways, not going to go into detail.
I mean, that kind of says a lot anyway.
That stuff, it just really rubbed me the wrong way. And I don't know. I just want to say in my experience, like there's too many lies.
When Reality Hits is sponsored by Nurex.
Okay, nobody
Text
cares.
messages. Like, Nurex is a digital.
Nurex is a digital way for bare trays, and I love it. You can get your period.
To have Nurex is a great place. Today, Nurex complete and medical. They accept many. Some people are doing things online or over the phone with people who actually know what they're talking about. Thanks to Nurex, that's in.
Sorry, I'm like skipping ahead. Oh my God, they have Sonabella. Visit sonabella.com/Joleen Lunzer. Okay, they need me, not these guys.
Ask about their no more hiding.
Blah, blah, blah.
How do you feel about her like outing your text messages? Like, was she was like reading them on lives, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, clearly, like, Joe's hurt.
Yeah.
And I don't think I don't know if she has a great support system. She's like looking for validation on social media. And, I just, it felt like kind of a violation. You know what I mean? Like if like.
Don't even start, because Lala's out here allegedly reading Katie's DMs at the reunion, but now you're violated. Sir, stop. Stop, sir. Stop. You deserve it.
If Joe hears this, wait, I'm going to do a call to action. Joe, if you hear this, Haley, like the person that I used to know, go and show them, go show them your hobbies, like the shit you do, your hair business, surfing, go be zany and wow. Just don't can try to build a following at my expense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just like this is, I don't know. She's looking for like short-term clout and imaginary online sympathy. And then I feel like she's sacrificing any sort of chance she has for like legitimacy or, credibility. It's just, I don't know. I get it. Like, I think she's hurt, but like, I pulled away from her because there's just too many lies.
Too many lies.
I'm not like, trust me, I have a list of like minimum of 20.
Yeah.
20 like substantiated, confirmed lies.
I mean, didn't she kind of say that after you guys did the reunion together that you were hanging out with her and texting her?
Okay, 20, he said, substantiated, confirmed lies. Okay, if they're substantiated and confirmed, Mr. Journalist, let us know. Okay, because it's not getting any better. Oh my goodness. Okay, so he's got 20 substantiated, confirmed lies, but he's not going to tell us everything it was. He's like, go do what your heart desires. No. You poked the bear, like someone said in the chat here. You poked her. You poked the backwards hatted bear. And now you might have to get a restraining order. You might have to Rachel Raquel this and get yourself a TRO. Okay. And Sophia, baby girl, 23-year-old Sophia, run. The elderly they're going to mess up your life. Okay. No offense, all offense. But these two should have their shit together more. You are like a 23, 24-year-old little baby. Okay, go live your life. Find a guy with literally less baggage. Because this is not good. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like, I think she's hurt. But like, I pulled away from her because there's just too many lies.
Too many lies.
I'm not, like, trust me, I have a list of like minimum of 20.
Yeah.
20 like substantiate.
And like Jacqueline's saying, Joe, 20 lies. Sandoval, 5,699. But when it's not happening to Schwartz, he doesn't care. He doesn't care that Ariana was literally dealing with a sociopath, the psychotic, narcissistic man who's like, shoot the berries. He really is like thinking we're all gonna. I mean, it is shocking because I didn't think we'd hear him say this and the sister thing too, but it's like you're also best friends with Tom Sandoval, who lies a lot, and you take up for him. even through his lies.
Have some remorse. Have some sensitivity.
So he's not like the best judge of character, nor does Schwartz really care.
It confirmed lies.
I mean, didn't she kind of say that after you guys did the reunion together that you were hanging out with her or texting her?
Like one of the ones that really rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know. I don't know the timelines on this stuff. Someone sent me one like a week ago, and she was doing a live stream, and she's like, he texts me nonstop, but I don't feel comfortable because I know he's seeing someone. And I'm just like, what the is she talking about?
Yeah,
this is like a week ago.
Yeah, because you're not doing it.
That's awesome. If she's out there like, oh my God, he will not stop texting me. And she did that on the live stream because when she was outing his text messages on her live a couple weeks ago, she said, he said we haven't talked in 5 months. Okay, well, you're texting me. It's like, yeah, he's texting you now. But I kind of love this for him. I think if it doesn't turn out to be an episode of Snapped, hopefully this will be a reality check that you have to learn to not be so toxic and treat women better.
Obviously.
Yeah. It's like, anyways, like, I don't know. I'm not trying to hold a grudge. I don't have a grudge. Like, I have no hard feelings. It's just like.
You lie. There is no way you can have no hard feelings. If she freaked your sister out to this point, she told your family, according to you, lies. She won't leave you alone. She's reading your personal messages. Stop with this fake. I don't have any. You hate her. You don't like her. You're sick of her. You're afraid of her. Stop it.
I pulled, like, people need to respect the reasons why I pulled away from her. They're very fucking valid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. They're very valid. And anybody in my situation would have done the same thing.
For sure.
I'm sorry.
I mean, lies from the get-go, like big lies about big people in our lives.
Just
that's
like,
weird.
Again, some benign, but some, like, the stuff with my family, I can never look at her the same way.
Yeah.
She's cut from my life forever.
Yeah. I mean, how are you feeling right now? I mean, I know it's all a lot. And like the fact that she was on the reunion, I thought was kind of crazy because I don't even remember. Was I on my first year of reunion?
Brittany was like, I don't know. I'm sorry. Were you jealous? Who cares? She was on the reunion. Yes, because Schwartz brought her on the show, made her a big, part of his storyline. So yeah, she was on the reunion. Brittany, Brittany, stop. Eat some beer cheese. Brittany talks too much. We want to hear more. You have to push him to be like, well, tell us, like, what exactly did she say that's so effed up to your family? I think then people will have a better understanding of where you're coming from. This is what I would do to him. I would be like, just so people can understand your point of view. Because that's what Schwartz is really, he's trying to sell us on this. I'm not a bad guy. She's a psycho. So far, it does sound very salacious and crazy, but I still think you're just as problematic as her. And I'll be honest, I know it's not the nicest thing, I guess. Well, maybe it is. I kind of don't hate it. I'm enjoying this.
Oh, but like that had to be a lot for you to like have to deal with that as well. Because like I know that it's just like taken off and just went viral.
It's like it did. It's like I'm getting so many comments like, you breadcrumbed her, you let her on.
You did.
It's like, you guys. Sometimes
do you feel like
really,
you did it all? Like,
no,
do you want to explain that part as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I said in the beginning, like we had so much fucking fun. We had an undeniable connection. It was fucking fun, man.
Yeah.
It's like in the beginning, I think
everything's fun in the beginning, dumbass.
Joe, because she was just so like the polar opposite human of Katie. And I don't mean that in a spiteful way.
Yeah.
It's just like coming out of a 13-year-old.
Somehow he always finds a way to dig at Katie. I think I just like Joe because she was like the polar opposite of Katie. And you'll hear Joe say similar things. Like, I think he just liked me because I was so positive and I was just so encouraging and like not like Katie. It's like, oh, Katie, she just like brings everything down. And it's like, sir, okay, Katie was right. Hashtag Katie was right. You should have had her back throughout your marriage. You didn't. And now you are kind of reaping what you sow. So,
like, without a doubt. So I don't want to confuse people with giving quote unquote mixed signals. But like sometimes you guys, you come into something and there's like there's a haze of like some sort of infatuation. You dig each other. It's so fun. But then when you find something out about someone, it changes the way you look at them forever. And it's like when you find out someone's making up like random lies, I don't know, it makes you question all the outlandish stories she ever told me, the things she said. It makes me question her motive for coming into my life. Do you know what I mean?
I 100% know what you mean.
But it makes me like I'm not just like there's a lot of them. Yeah. And people like patrons of my bar would tell me stuff. My family would tell me stuff. Like after we stopped seeing each other, literally all my friends that I'm close with came to me and mentioned things. And I'm just like, oh my God.
And also, like, a lot of people watching a reality TV show don't realize how long ago these.
Okay, Brittany, we don't quit educating us on reality TV. We know more about it than you do. You still don't really get what you're doing. Okay. And she's always interrupting. And he's like, follow-up questions. Pay attention to what he's saying. Don't try to make excuses for him or talk about reality TV. So Joe was the polar opposite human of Katie. Well, how'd that work out for you? As you try to be take a hit at Katie. Okay. Just like coming out of a 13-year relationship and like without a doubt, so I don't confuse people. Yeah. All right.
Each other. It's so fun. But then when you find something out about someone, it changes the way you look at them forever. And it's like when you find out someone's making up like random lies, I don't know, it makes you question all the outlandish stories she ever told me, the things she said. It makes me question her motive for coming into my life. Do you know what I mean?
I 100% know what you mean.
But it makes me like I'm not just like, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And people like patrons of my bar would tell me stuff. My family would tell me
like
stuff.
What?
Like after we stopped seeing each other, literally all my friends that I'm.
Oh my God. Honestly, call Diane Sawyer, please. We need somebody. We need Andy and a camera and a producer or something. She's not even saying, okay. It's because she already probably knows the things, but we don't. So say, like what? What are the things the patrons of your bar would tell you? What are the things your family would tell you? What are you saying, sir?
Also came to me and mentioned things, and I'm just like, oh my God.
And also, like, a lot of people watching a reality TV show don't realize how long ago these things were filmed, and like you went through these things. So, like, how long has it been?
We know how long it was filmed, Brittany. They film in the summer. What are we, idiots? Bear tries. Oh my goodness, Brittany.
And since you and Joe like haven't even been talking to each other, like maybe we should clarify that so that people.
I mean, I've barely talked to her in the past 5 months.
Okay, yeah, you know? And I think that's very important to address because people think that they're watching a live show sometimes, and it's like, no.
Who the fuck thinks they're watching? Brittany, go take a nap. Can we get somebody else on this? There's got to be someone better. Who? Put your hands up in the chat. Who thinks that this show is? We know. Because it's literally summer and we're watching it in the spring and winter. So surely we know. Bear tries. You know what? I'm about to go Team Jax if you don't knock this off, please.
Oh, yeah. This was filmed months ago.
Yeah, it's just.
We know.
Ever since like sometime like late summer, early fall.
Oh my God.
Like some incidents with my family. It just caused me to pull away.
Yeah.
And I tried, you know me. I don't want any.
I know there wasn't one big thing, but definitely addressing your family and doing things with your family was just like that was like, okay, I can't.
I think in the moment she thought she was doing something for me. I mean, I don't want to get into that.
You don't have to.
It's like it's.
But I think people listening would understand.
I wonder if she told. Because he said the lies to his family. She thought in the moment she was doing something for him. So maybe she told them he has an addiction or is an alcoholic or his dick don't work like Katie said. I'm not sure. We'll rewind it a little bit. But Brittany, follow-up questions, please. Cammie, thank you for the super chat. Exactly. Cammie says, why didn't he question Sandoval's lies? Well, because those lies were being told to women. Women don't deserve the truth. We know that, Cammie. Don't be silly. Susie Q, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, by being so vague, he is ensuring that anything Joe says now will be sus. Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Because I guarantee, since he's not saying it, it's probably not as bad as where our heads are going to. You know, Kelly Cal, thank you for the super chat, says he's literally explaining why Ariana avoids Sandoval, but he has no idea. So he's going to probably say, I had to put up boundaries. I had to do these things. But when Ariana does that, oh my God, what a bitch. She's ruining our show. Well, I'm going to say then these producers, I mean, I think they got to bring Joe back then. You know, because what do we got to protect Tom for? He doesn't care about the women. They're not worried about the women being protected. So maybe Joe needs to come back, wreak some havoc. We'll see.
And like when your family's involved, that's like a whole different level, you know?
Was that last text I sent her, which she read like only a portion of on the live stream. That's the reason, because I had pretty much cut off contact, but like I got infuriated. So I kind of rage texted a little bit. It was actually a very constructive, semi-uplifting text. towards the end, but like I started enumerating some of the reasons why I left her and why when you find out a few lies, some innocent and some not so innocent, it makes you just question everything. And anyways, just, hey, go live your life. Go build a following, do your live streams. Do a surfing live stream. Just don't try to do it at my expense. She's not a victim.
Yeah.
Don't you tell her what she can do on her lives. If she wants to out you and be chaotic, well, God bless. All right. Don't tell her what she can do on her live stream, sir.
She's not a fucking victim, okay?
I love that you said
Joe narrative. It's like
I love that you said like show like things that you're good at, like show your surfing, show this, show that. That's very nice of you to say, especially after your name is being dragged around like that by that person.
And like on some level, I get that this is like her brush with fame here. It's new, it's exciting.
Yeah, before we even like talked today, Schwartz was like, it's so hard whenever you're the first time on reality TV, like there's a lot that comes with it. A lot of pressure, a lot of comments, a lot of everything. It's like even like Schwartz was being like, I get that part of it.
Thanks for saying that.
Yeah,
I understand. She's experiencing like her brain's probably lit up like the 4th of July.
Yeah,
because it's like she's in a negative and positive feedback loop on social media.
Yep.
And I'm not saying like we're jaded, but I've been there, done that. And it still gets to me sometimes after 11 years.
It's hard.
But like, dude, the fact that she's doing it at my expense, it needs to be addressed. I'm shutting it down.
Yeah.
I pulled away for very valid fucking reasons. Get over it.
I kind of love this after everything the Toms have done to Ariana and Katie. And now he's like, I need to pull away. I need my boundaries. And it's not fair what she's doing. Yep. Yeah. Isn't it weird how things come full circle and karma and all the things? Isn't that interesting? It's so interesting. So interesting how you guys are, you're being kind of hysterical. I mean, what could this lady do? You know, put a backwards hat on you. I mean, come on.
Thanks for saying that.
Yeah.
I understand. She's experiencing like her brain's probably lit up like the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Because it's like she's in a negative and positive feedback loop on social media.
Yep.
And I'm not saying like we're jaded, but I've been there, done that. And it still gets to me sometimes after 11 years.
It's hard.
But like, dude, the fact that she's doing it at my expense, it needs to be addressed. I'm shutting it down.
Yeah.
I love that it's at his expense. Just FYI. No offense, all offense. Senna, thank you so much for the super chat. Yes, bear tries. We all just believe the Valley Bear, Big Bear lake scenes were filmed last week. And that you and Jax are still living together. It's all live. Yes, Brittany. We totally, Brittany. And Nico Moon, thank you so much for the super sticker. Appreciate you. Lee Armstrong, thank you for the super sticker. Yeah, we're just like, oh my gosh, this must be in real time. I was about to drive up to Big Bear and be like, hey guys.
I pulled away for very valid fucking reasons. Get over it. Move on. Close that chapter of your life. Start a new, shiny, bright one. Go blossom. Go be great. Give them Joe. Just
give them Joe.
Give them Lala.
My name out of your mouth and move on with your life.
I love it. So see, like we still want the best for you, Joe. If you're listening or whoever, like it's always uplifting, and that's one thing I love about Schwartz.
Oh, Brittany, you're just asking to get murdered now because that is. We expect a best for you now. You are alone with her love interest, and you're just like, we want the best for you, but do you? I mean, you're out here just exposing her lies. Be careful, Brittany.
He's not trying to like bring somebody down or anything, so
and then like I wanted it on a positive note, but it's like, she also like she used to preach about how much she hates social media, how she would never do reality TV.
Oh, that's the what?
Isn't it funny when people tell you what they think you want to hear to manipulate you and get into your life? Kind of how you do to women and what Sandoval does. Okay.
Her gospel, not just like once or twice. It was her gospel.
That's the worst.
And now I see how she's acting. And by the way, good for her. As life goes on, you change your outlook, your perspective on life with new information. I like that she's embracing it, but she's doing it at my expense, and it just seems.
Is it my birthday? I am loving watching this man squirm after every stupid thing we had to listen to from the Toms. and how they tried to play. Well, they did. Katie and Ariana so dirty and continue to. And now he's like, at my expense. Yeah, at your expense. At your expense. This is fun. You guys, happy birthday to all of us. Renee Glover, thank you for the super chat. Renee said, she sounds like a habitual liar to me. Tom shouldn't have done what he did to her. That's why he is going through it. It's karma. Yeah, karma is my boyfriend. Karma is Joanne Berg. Tiffany Jefferson says, have a wonderful Saturday. I'll be listening at work. Oh, have fun at work, Tiffany. FYI. Bye, Joe and Lala. Just stop talking. It's embarrassing for you, girl. It's embarrassing. Thank you, Charity Hagwood says, Brittany, you in danger, girl. Like, you are in danger. It's like Whoopi Goldberg from the Ghost. Is that what, when she was like, you're in danger, girl. You are in danger. Evelyn, thank you for the super chat. Evelyn says, I agree, Jolene. I'm really enjoying. Yeah, right? I'm enjoying this. I don't know. No offense, all offense, but tell me more about at your expense. At your expense. Please tell me more.
Yeah.
It seems clownish.
Well, I'm glad you addressed it. I think that was important.
Did you just call her a clown? Oh, somebody's asking for it. They always talk about how women asked for it, but okay.
I like that she's embracing it, but she's doing it at my expense, and it just seems like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems clownish.
Well, I'm glad you addressed it. I think that was important.
Yeah.
When Reality Hits is brought to you by
It's bound to buy progress here for you get drinks. Don't drive and eat beer trays. This is Brittany coming at you live. Oh, apparently Brittany's got a Babbel is one of their sponsors. I tried to learn Spanish. Can you imagine, Brittany? Hola, como estas? Is beer trays. Okay. All right.
I am a pig.
The Valley, this last episode was super tough for me and Jax. I was like getting car sick. He was trying to blame it on me drinking. I hadn't drank that day. I think I had like one shot with the crew earlier. Get car sick, and then he's like hounding me all night about it. It was not a good look. It was not good. So did you see the episode?
I saw clips online, but
Yeah.
I know they get chopped up and sort of processed for maximum clickbait. So
Okay.
I know better.
Do we got any more about Joe?
I just saw clips where it's like,
Do most of it, and it became like this whole thing, and I felt so guilty.
the great things I've learned from my past relationship and from Ken. Shout out to Ken. It's like support it public, talk about it in private.
Exactly. And that's something that me and Jax have never done. And like that's something that like always really embarrassed me. But I just came busting out of that room. They had a boom on me in 2 seconds.
Okay, we don't care. We'll talk about that at a later date.
Me and Jax in a situation.
You and Jax are a horrible relationship. Okay, so that is Schwartz on Britney. Okay, let's listen to just a clip of, and then we'll get into the Joe interview on Rachel Raquel's podcast. So I don't think, let me just double check here, that Joe has went live since this. But I mean, I think I see a live stream coming. Now, the last time she went live, I believe, was 6 days ago. Let's see. Karma is my boyfriend. Okay. The 19th, which is when she, I believe, walked off because someone asked her about checkers as she's asking for money. So I don't see that she has went live since this, but she did do Rachel Raquel's podcast, but I think it was being recorded at the same time this was coming out. So I don't think we're going to get a response to this just yet, but I think a response is coming. Okay, let me try to, no, that's not the one I want. Let me try to find the Kristen Doute and Luke. Apparently, oh, this is just a minute. I think, is this another one? No, this one. Okay. And this is apparently Joe lied to Luke and told Luke when she first met him that she was Aaron Rodgers' hairdresser. And we know how she keeps bringing up Aaron Rodgers. Like, can you introduce me to Aaron Rodgers? And he would fly her back to Wisconsin to do his hair. And then Kristen says, yeah, that's not true because I know Aaron Rodgers' hairdresser.
What did you make of her comment when
Aaron Rodgers?
Well, Andy asked, would you date anyone? Because you're not dating right now. And she goes, I date Aaron Rodgers. Do you know him? It's like, oh, I thought you knew him. That's one of the first things you said to me, Joe.
Yeah,
was
I
that
thought you've been doing his hair
back,
forever.
He flies you back to Wisconsin to do his hair. I remember being like blown away, like, holy shit, Kristen. Like intro to Los Angeles for me, to Hollywood. Kristen's first friend is Aaron Rodgers' hairdresser, and he's got the long hair. He supposedly, according to her, flies her in to do his hair. Yeah, I don't know. It just was a really weird comment for me, considering my minimal exposure to Joe. And one of the first things she said was, she does his hair, so she should have his number.
Right. And that was like almost 2 years ago that she was saying those things just to you.
Right. I don't think it was just to me. Multiple people said
right.
that.
I'm saying to you personally, you did not hear it through me.
100%. It was said to me, yes.
What's also crazy is that I actually do know who does Aaron Rodgers' hair because it's my friend Rihanna. And he actually does fly Rihanna and her wife Morgan, and they sit in his suite, and she's been doing his hair for a long time. Like,
Oh, all right. Priya, thank you so much for the super chat. I need Schwartz plus Sophia on Disrespectfully, right? Equals ratings of that Katie's podcast with Dana. That would be very interesting. Mtronics, thank you for the super chat. Says, cannot wait for the rebuttal to this. Me either. Okay, so let's just pull up. And I know there was some, because Joe had been claiming that she did not stay with Kristen Doute in her apartment because she said Kristen had COVID and was at a wedding. So she was at a wedding with COVID. And Kristen was like, that's actually not what happened. So Joe getting into Schwartz's house to stay there, the timelines and stuff were a little off, according to Kristen. So let's take a look here at what she has to say.
Oh, but Katie, you're different in real life than you are on the show. What is the game you're playing? Katie's been on this fucking show since we shot the pilot in 2011.
Oh.
Like 12 and a half.
This might actually be a good episode for you guys to check out if you want to listen to Balancing Act with Kristen Doute and Luke. Looks like she's breaking down the reunion part 2. And she's got Katie's back, so love to see it. Finally, somebody does in this damn world. Okay.
Doesn't mean she isn't one of Ariana's closest friends or be together. Clearly.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
like that.
example. Yeah.
Or like Britney, I'm like,
This might have been the only time because, I don't know how close, I don't know the specifics. I don't know how close Lala is, when they're not filming. Maybe she is. Maybe this was one of those little nuggets that she got and something she held on to. They're going to have a conversation and it never did. And it's like, just because you made it a big deal in your mind doesn't mean it really was.
Kristen, whatever you do, you got to make sure Lala does not get on the valley. It is going to ruin the valley. You got to be the queen bee. You got to make sure, whatever you got to do, keep her off the valley, in my opinion.
Because my heart is invested. Okay, and just to like kind of nip this, right? Why is everyone, aka Schwartz and Lala, and I say this with love, I love Schwartz to death, but why are they trying to give meaning to what Katie said, but literally will not let Katie talk? I just felt like Schwartz and Lala were like yelling across the stage, trying to be like, this is what Katie meant. This is what she thought. But like every time she tried to speak, they spoke a little bit louder. It's like you're basically talking about her right in front of her. It's like really fucking weird.
It was weird. Yeah, that's enough about that.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about the Max and Katie and the Schwartz and Raquel. Is that tit for tat?
No, Schwartz and Sheena.
No, that was, I don't know. I kind of breezed over that. We already heard it. It was nothing new there.
But what I thought was interesting, and
Okay,
she
let's
said,
fast forward a little.
And she brings up that and then I'm sorry, I was like, what the fuck did you just say? And I was crying laughing. But yeah, so we get to Katie and Max, that it could, because I do agree with Kate.
Right, but I'm telling you, Katie is a thinker. Maybe everything was going well. She knew what she was doing. I'm not saying it was her sole motivation.
Correct.
But yes, she knew what she was doing.
Fair.
But Schwartz ultimately doesn't care. What do you think about that?
That's
he
true.
He thought it was funny. He smiled.
He did. And he said it level. I'm just like, look at their cute little band.
Okay, where's the Joe talk, Kristen?
Just when I see those little sparks.
I mean, we saw the video. That is not the same as having sex with.
So, Luke, I don't know if you caught this because you've not seen, obviously, every season of Vanderpump Rules. But when Katie was prompted, if they had slept together more than once or hooked up more than once, she goes, I don't remember, which is such a fucking dick to Schwartz. Every time he made out with someone behind Katie's back, when they were together, when they were married, when they were engaged, whatever it was, he was like, I don't remember. So Katie's like, I don't remember. We're talking about Tahoe. And Schwartz is...
I didn't even think about that. That's a good point Kristen makes. So the fact that Katie was like, I don't remember, because Schwartz can never remember because he's just so drunk. He can't remember when he would cheat on Katie. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me just try to look through the text here to see when they mention Joe, because it's not that long of an episode, but so far I'm not seeing Joe's name. All right. We'll get through this. Smash that like while we are going through this podcast, trying to get all the all the teas. But if you want to listen to, here we go. If you want to listen to the whole episode, you can go to Balancing Act, wherever you find podcasts, and listen to Kristen and Luke talk about this. All right. Talk about the reunion. Okay.
Okay, so then that's pretty much all. You guys, I can't. I'm like, what the flying fuck is going on right now? At first, it seemed, I don't know. I hate saying the word normal, but it seemed like a normal conversation at first, like interview, like Andy's asking Joe questions, the cast is chiming in, and then all of a sudden, it's literally Joe and Tom Schwartz saying the complete opposite things at the same time, as if they're understanding each. Like, it didn't make any sense. Did you notice this?
Yeah, I did, and I have questions about this whole timeline deal because
the timeline's bullshit.
It is bullshit. There's no way. I mean, you got a picture from Katie about a toothbrush at Schwartz's place far more than 4 days later. Far more.
Yeah.
As well as other stuff hanging around at the apartment.
Well,
I don't know
also Joe in the reunion, she's like, well, it was like during COVID. No, it wasn't during COVID. Like, she was like, no. And she's like, well, people still have COVID. People still have fucking COVID today. You're going to say sometime in the last 4 years to set your timeline straight. Also, God bless my best, prettiest, pettiest friend, Zach Wickham, for sending me, amongst other people, sending me this video of Joe doing someone's podcast, I believe. And it's the shortened version where she's now saying that I am the one who told her she should go stay with Schwartz because I had COVID simultaneously while going to a wedding. What in the bananas of all hell is she fucking talking about?
Well, the way she said it too was like, you gave her permission to stay with Schwartz. Like, she didn't have to ask him or... And at the same time, she also said, yeah, I'd seen him like once a year.
No, Schwartz said he would see her 2 or 3 times a year whenever she was with me.
That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was.
So let's just go back real quick. June 29th, 2022, I text girl Joe. Did you end up having COVID? You never told me. She said, yes, we had COVID, hence the quarantining. I was like, well, I wish you had told me. I wouldn't have flown, blah, 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 blah. And then we're chatting. So that was June 29th. July 7th, we're still chatting. I believe, Luke, that is the day or around the day that you met her, that you came in town and the 3 of us had lunch. Then she stops talking to me.
Okay, so we're talking 2022, we're talking June, and then we're into July. And so Kristen's saying June 29th, 2022, she's got the receipts. I text Joe, did you end up having COVID? You never told me. Joe responds, yes, we had COVID, hence the quarantining. I was like, well, I wish you would have told me. I wouldn't have flown. So it sounds like Joe's version is like Kristen got the Covina and and so she couldn't stay with her. But really, according to Kristen's text, Joe had the Covina. And Kristen's like, oh, I was exposed from hanging out with you because according to Kristen, they would hang out quite often. And I wish you would have told me because I wouldn't have flown. Okay.
You never told me. She said, yes, we had COVID, hence the quarantining. I was like, well, I wish you had told me. I wouldn't have flown, blah, 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 blah. And then we're chatting. So that was June 29th. July 7th, we're still chatting. I believe, Luke, that is the day or around the day that you met her, that you came in town and the 3 of us had lunch.
Right around that time, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then she stops talking to me roughly June 15th. I have multiple texts from like, hey, are you okay? I barely talked to you in over a week. I'm worried about you. Cut to July 20th.
Okay, I think she meant July 15th. She said June because we were on July 7th. Okay, so I think she meant July 15th. So then she's texting her, are you okay?
Then she stops talking to me roughly June 15th. I have multiple texts from like, hey, are you okay? I barely talked to you in over a week. I'm worried about you. Cut to July 20th, 2022. This is now 3 weeks after she had COVID. I had it like right around there. July 20th, 2022. I said, wait, you live with Tom? I'm so confused. LOL. Kaylee, LOL, call me. Because this is when Katie Maloney, which I've said in past podcasts, called me from filming with Schwartz at his apartment and found girl things in the bathroom. She said, no, I don't live with Tom. I'm staying there on and off until Friday for a space until my apartment is ready. I said, why didn't you tell me? But now the bitch is going to say that I told her to go live with Schwartz. Simultaneously, I had COVID and a wedding. I was already living in my apartment. She had come over to my apartment right when I got it. So there's some timeline clearing up for everyone.
Yeah, I'll say also, so it was within a day or two of Jax's birthday. So if we want to stamp that timeline.
Jax's birthday is July 11th. Joe's birthday is July 9th.
So we met Joe at you were in your new apartment, right? Mm-hmm. The wedding was a month before that I believe she was referring to. Mm-hmm. Then you and I went to
which is Denver the wedding you and I met at.
Right. And then end of June, we go to a concert at Red Rocks. And that's where everyone but me got COVID. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, piecing these parts together to make more sense of it. Then after that, I come out once Kristen's COVID clears up. That's when I meet Joe. And she said she's getting the last things out of her apartment. Like that day, she had to move out and within the next day or two. So, I mean, there's our timeline right there. There's no, I don't know where 4 days came from.
And then I found, well, she's saying she stayed with Schwartz for 4 days, but I didn't find out that she was staying with Schwartz until Katie called me when they were filming on July 20th. Or yeah, I think that's what I just said, July 20th. So she is such a fucking liar. Stop bringing my name into this shit if you're not going to tell the truth. And even Lala says, how do you guys know each other? And Joe's response is through this group. And then Schwartz says, oh, well, she's Kristen Doute's best friend. Oh, not Joe, now you're in the group. Oh, are you? Like, get off fucking social media. Go back to Wisconsin. Take a breath. Go wherever Rachel, your best friend, went. I don't care. Just stop talking about my friends and myself on podcasts. I'm fucking over it. And then she whispered to Sheena, oh, because I did his hair. He would text me and I would do his hair. We also know that's bullshit because she was texting Katie around the time of their divorce being like, hey, can I get Tom's number? I just wanted to like do his hair. Can you ask him for me? Well, now she's been doing his hair for years and years.
There's a lot of non-truths there.
A lot of discrepancies.
At the same time, let's give some sentiment to Joe because there was some breadcrumbing going on. At least that's how it appeared. And Katie did step up and apologize. Katie did apologize as well for some of the nasty things she said. I think everybody that was watching this felt for Joe because of what was going on this season. There was some times that, you know, regardless of if she's making some of these details up or not, there was real feelings. And she was to some degree led on there, you know.
I agree. And I think Katie handled that whole conversation perfectly. And she was just like, look, Tom, you were being elusive. You were being a bit of a fuckboy. You were, like you said, Luke, like just breadcrumbing. And I think that is correct as well. I just think what is continued on since Tom has taken not only space, but now he's had to block her. It's like, girlfriend, let it go. Let it go. All right.
I have to ask you, what did you make of her comment when
Aaron Rodgers?
Well, Andy asked, would you date anyone? Because you're not dating right now. And she goes, I date Aaron Rodgers. Do you know him? It's like, oh, I thought you knew him. That's one of the first things you said to me, Joe.
Yeah, I thought you've been doing his hair forever.
He flies you back to Wisconsin to do his hair. I remember being like blown away, like, holy shit, Kristen. Like intro to Los Angeles for me, to Hollywood. Kristen's first friend is Aaron Rodgers' hairdresser, and he's got the long hair. He's supposedly, according to her, flies her in to do his hair. Yeah, I don't know. It just was a really weird comment for me, considering my minimal exposure to Joe. And one of the first things she said was, she does his hair, so she should have his number.
Right. And that was like almost 2 years ago that she was saying those things just to you.
Right. I don't think it was just me. Multiple people said
right. I'm saying to you personally, you did not hear it through me.
100%. It was said to me, yes.
And what's also crazy is that I actually do know who does Aaron Rodgers' hair because it's my friend Rihanna. And he actually does fly Rihanna and her wife Morgan, and they sit in his suite.
Wow.
And she's been doing his hair for a long time. Hey, babes. Are you
justice for Rihanna, who does the hair? Okay. I don't think there is anything more on Kristen. So, wow. So Kristen's like, no, bitch, you're lying. You said this, that, and the other thing. And the thing with Joe is she made it sound like there was some kind of circumstance she's had a few stories about the Kristen, because everyone's like, well, why couldn't you have went if you needed some place to stay and Kristen's allegedly your best friend? Why couldn't you have went to stay with Kristen? And she's made up quite a few things. One of them being, you know, oh, she was at a wedding and had COVID, but also insinuated that her living situation was like chaotic or something, like she was insinuating things, that things weren't good on Kristen's behalf. So definitely not like a nice thing to say about your friend. And then she just stops talking to Kristen when she goes and stays with Tom Schwartz. And Katie, we know Katie was like, Joe had been texting me saying that she wanted to, you know, to make an appointment for Schwartz. And I just said, well, here's his number. We're, you know, since we're getting a divorce, like if he wants to get his hair done by you, well, then you call him. So very interesting. It seems like little Kaylee Jo Wenberg has changed the story quite a few times, but Kristen's pulling up receipts and text messages, and Joe has been pretty adamant on, I'm not going to talk. I don't want to talk about Kristen. It's just, she's definitely thrown like digs at her and during her live streams, but she won't really explain what came about for them to stop being friends. Now, Tom Sandoval on the most recent after show, he insinuated so many insinuations. He's basically saying that there was some kind of awful message that maybe Kristen sent to Joe and he saw it. But again, he's a liar too. So maybe Tom Sandy Butt and Joe Wenberg are MFEO, made for each other. Maybe they should get together. But this story is just like cuckoo. It's just the layers to it keep coming. Thank you, Jody, for the super sticker. And thank you, Senna. Senna says, Kristen and Joe, if I was isolated by myself with them together in one room, would be an escape room. Can you imagine these two and their friendship? Oh my goodness. That would be something. But Kristen hasn't, we haven't heard anything from Kristen about any other reason that Joe stopped being her friend other than Joe wanted to go get with Schwartz and maybe knew Kristen wouldn't be okay with that. But Joe has insinuated there was something bigger there, something horrible Kristen said, which I'm sure after the fact, Kristen probably did text her some pretty mean stuff. Okay. Which takes us then to, Joe on, let's pull this up here. Joe on Rachel Raquel's podcast. So yesterday, Rachel Raquel put out a podcast called Joe Dirt. Someone might have been watching me. Maybe it should be Dirty Joe, but she said Joe Dirt. Okay. And before this, they were kind of marketing it as Joe's back to tell her story again. And we're like, again? She already told her story. It didn't make sense then. Is it going to make sense now? So here is the very dramatic preview of Joe on Rachel Raquel's, and then we'll listen to part of it and get our reactions and roasting on.
Have returning guest Joe Wimberg.
Ooh, the music.
Do you take accountability for staying in that relationship despite Schwartz not putting a label on it?
Ooh.
I still have a very hard time not being like around him. Great question. Do I regret it?
How does it feel knowing that Schwartz is now dating this girlfriend of his?
That's the thing. It's like minus the TV, minus the show, minus the phones, minus all this bullshit. I could see 100% him and I being easily compatible. The reason why Tom, I believe, didn't want to put a label on anything was because...
And it says, listen now. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go. All right. I am going to speed it up to 1.25. I usually speed these things up because Rachel Raquel talks really slow. And Lala... So this is not going to be Joe responding to what Schwartz has said and Kristen has said now, most likely, because I believe these were probably recorded around the same time. In the interview on Britney's podcast that Schwartz did, calling Joe a compulsive liar, that hadn't come out yet. But she does know that, obviously, through the text messages she shared on her live, that he has blocked her. But let's take a listen.
State Farm and DJ.
With his range fees going through mouthwash, that it could 100% be. I felt really validate whether or not I somehow she felt like she finally union part 2. This is your host,
Rachel Savannah Levis, and today we
Rachel
have
Savannah
Joe
Levis.
back in the studio. Joe Wimberg, everybody. This is my first repeat guest. I'm so excited to have her back because we're talking about the reunion part 2. She made her debut appearance. This is her very first reunion. She told me how much she appreciated being on my podcast last time and how much that meant to her because she felt like she finally had a voice. So I wanted to have Joe back to speak on the reunion experience because this was not what you were expecting, I could imagine.
Not at all. And I'm so glad to be back, Raquel, because whether or not I stumble upon my words and all the, this is a safe space for me. So I'm so grateful.
Do you feel like it was validating in a way?
Yes. So many things that you didn't see and you did see. But I think that for me personally, walking off the stage, I felt really, and I didn't expect that anybody.
Okay, I'm going to slow it down just because I feel like Joe might talk a little faster. So she's validated at the reunion.
Like it was validating in a way?
Yes. So many things that you didn't see and you did see. But I think that for me personally, walking off the stage, I felt really validated. And I didn't expect that anybody would want to validate my feelings or anything that had happened. Looking at what you had gone through last season, you were not, I don't want to bring you back up from last season, but, I had that in the back of my mind that it could 100% be a shit show. Yeah. And especially because you were talked about so much on this reunion. So I was very validated and felt 8 out of 10 validated on this reunion.
Oh, what a victim.
It did feel like you and Schwartz were not quite on the same page.
We were not on the same page. We were on the same page in terms of 0. It was very interesting.
It seems to be a consistent
theme
throughout.
Big hug at Crafty, which, by the way, Crafty means where you can go and have a little snack, another hug.
Did you just explain craft service to us? Between Brittany and Joe and Crafty, and I call him Crafty, he calls me Joseph. It's just like, we know you get snacks. Okay, Crafty. I'm telling you, this kind of like false humility thing she does, that's a thing too. This soft brag. And it's like Crafty. We know, we're not stupid.
And on camera, it was different. So
To be expected, I guess.
To be expected, I guess, as well.
So when you were asked about the timeline of your relationship, Schwartz isn't disputing the details of your relationship. Like, he fully agrees to how many times you guys had sex and
Yes.
blah, 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 blah.
Yes, it's like the back end of everything. When you think about like a book and you open the book up, he's not really disputing like chapters 1, 3, 7, and 9.
He's disputing the existence of the book.
He's disputing the existence of the book.
Because
there it is.
He's literally saying
Perfect.
you guys were not in a relationship,
Correct,
but you clearly were.
We were. And in the chapters, you can see it.
Rachel's like, you saying you weren't, but you clearly were, because you went on a double date trip to Big Bear with me and Tom Sandoval, and Lala wasn't there.
Book and the cover and the back, he's disputing like the whole thing, like the label.
The label.
And he doesn't like a label.
Mm-hmm.
So now when I have to remind myself how I felt about him, the reason why Tom, I believe, didn't want to put a label on anything was because I was a very present person. And I knew in my mind that I was trying to help Tom by helping him with his emotions after Katie and everything. And I was trying to motivate him to be more focused on saying things this is going to sound whack, but like saying things in the present moment, not be so future focused, because he would always be on his phone and he would always be worried about something in the future. So when I came into the picture, it was a very enlightening experience for him. And he's said it before.
It was very enlightening when she came on there. She lives in the present. She's very enlightening. These people really think highly of themselves.
That scared him. And I knew that it would be a process to get through to him on this in terms of his mindset. I also think that when it came down to it, every situation that him and I were in, we were able to navigate it very well together. I think that the biggest thing for me.
What, with Coors Light? What is this chick talking about? She's acting like they were like meditating and eating vegetables. No, you were banging while he's still probably in love with his ex-wife, probably while they were still married, like people are saying in the chat, and pounding Coors Lights and God knows what else. Oh my God, this is ridiculous.
Guess what? I was very impressionable when she took all her clothes off and jumped in my pool.
How humiliating and degrading.
This is humiliating and degrading at this point. But old Tony Robbins, Kaylee Jo Wenberg over here.
Was that we were not on the same page, apparently, in terms of what we labeled our relationship. I would say that if you would not see him and I together on or off camera, I don't know what dating looks like, but that's dating. That is a boyfriend and a girlfriend relationship. It's a two-way street.
Are these people 12? You're 36. He's like 50. You define it. Hi, are we dating? Or is this a relationship? Or is this just a bang fest? Are we just doing shrooms and rubbing genitals? Or are we holding hands and claiming each other in public? I mean, it's like not that difficult.
And honestly, I don't want him to ever think that he did anything incorrect. I don't want.
Oh my God. What? She said, I don't want him to think Joe, he did something incorrect. Is she playing us over here? He did something incorrect. He says you're a psycho. He said you're a compulsive liar. You scared the shit out of his sister. But you're okay. We'll see how this changes when you hear his interview.
Together on or off camera, I don't know what dating looks like, but that's dating. That is a boyfriend and a girlfriend relationship. It's a two-way street. And honestly, I don't want him to ever think that he did anything incorrect. I don't want me to think I ever did anything incorrect. I think at the end of the day, the answer is I don't know. No clue.
Yeah. From my perspective, it seems like Schwartz is love avoidant in ending that relationship.
What? Oh, you guys, this is funny. This is actually really funny. The fact that Rachel Raquel is now, I am out of the meadows and a love avoidant. All of these words she's gonna use. And Joe's not making any sense. I mean, I don't want him to hurt. I don't want me to hurt. I don't want me to take any responsibility. I don't want him to take any responsibility. I just want to put the P in the V again. Okay. Thank you, NYCMP. Says, Joe, you are an organ donor and I need you to inspect. He is just love avoidant rather than he's just an asshole.
With Katie and going through the divorce, it seemed like he was in a state of mind where he was scared to love again. Although you guys did tell each other that you loved each other.
I think he was scared to love again. And then you're right. And then I came into the
I don't think I can make it through this. It's 6 minutes in. We have 29 minutes. What? That I shall never love again. Love. Like what? They're trying to make this into like a Tony Braxton song. That I shall never breathe again. Like he's not love. He just wanted to fuck. Okay? And he's an asshole. He wants to, and he's an asshole. He wanted to use you. What is happening here? He was so afraid. He's not afraid. Well, he is a chicken shit, but he's not afraid to love. Oh my God. He's afraid of having to keep his dick in one place. That's what terrifies him.
And he did not know what to do with it. And then really backpedaled. And then I'm going to go into another potential relationship and then not explain why we broke up. Like, I don't know, but I also know that like, that's him to work that out. I've been sad about it, but I've also been able to realize that he didn't really take me seriously, I guess.
But it seemed like
what do you mean you guess? He did not take you seriously. He thought you were a joke. You were there to like cheer him up. He's like, make me laugh, clown. Now make me orgasm. Now leave. The cameras are here. What is happening? Please, dear Lord.
Cass pretty much supported you and all agreed, including Katie, that Schwartz was leading you on. And Katie even describes Schwartz as having fuckboy behavior.
Yeah, that's not love avoidant. He was afraid to love again. He knew I was just so good for him and he couldn't love me again. No, he's a fuckboy. He's a fuckboy and he wants to fuck it all. Everywhere he goes, he wants to double up. And if he can't get it up, he's just gonna make out. And now Joe's gonna do one of her famous laughs.
Was that validating to hear coming from Katie? And did you expect that at all?
No. I did not expect Katie to call out Schwartz as a fuckboy at the like I did not expect her to even go there. And was it validating? No, because again, it's almost as if like you're just kind of putting like a little bit of a Band-Aid on something that you just like ripped open for like a year. You know, like Joe's this, Joe's that, Joe's this. And then I'm going to be on the reunion and be like, hey, by the way, you're a fuckboy.
Okay, so nothing Katie can ever do, it will ever be good enough for Joe because once upon a time, Joe's out there saying, she called me spooky. She said I have moved like a crackhead, even though I said I moved like a crackhead. She said I have to shower. She called me weird. Again, as an Aquarius, that is a compliment. Okay, I forget which sign this chick is. Is she a Cancer? Oh God, I hope she's not a Cancer. Is she a Cancer? Oh God. But I mean, like she can't even give Katie a little bit. Katie owed you nothing. She owed you nothing. You can't give her anything. But Schwartz, you can go, I don't want him to have to worry about this. He fucked you over. Katie said a couple things, thought you were spooky and whatever. And now it's like she's the Antichrist. Katie is the devil. And you will never forgive her. This is so ridiculous, this lady.
Well, where was that?
She's a Cancer to society
before. You know, like when you ripped me a new.
No one got. You didn't get ripped. You don't even. This woman keeps saying, "I just got ripped. I got ripped." Well, that has multiple meanings. I know what she means because I think maybe it's a term everywhere, but in the Midwest, you'll hear people say, "Oh my God, I got ripped." You know, like someone ripped me apart when someone just drags you, reads you, or whatever. But she keeps saying this, like, "I got ripped." You did not. You did not. You did not. She said you were spooky. You got some crackhead energy, which you've made the joke of yourself. She said she didn't like, she called you rat girl. Who cares? And she said you're weird. Big deal. Move on. .org. Okay? Check it out. This is ridiculous. So you didn't get ripped. You have no idea what this is like. Belle, thank you so much for the super chat. Belle said, newish listener, you have now grown on me like a skin suit. Oh, thank you. On theme with current subject, right? About creepers. Schwartz and Joe, the skin suit duo. Thank you so much, Belle. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Okay. Hope there is no cancer in the chat. I don't know.
And every second you got. And then
also I loathe this kind of victim. I loathe this kind of sad fishing, if you will, this kind of like sympathy this fake, when people say these big statements like every chance she got. Oh, really, Katie? Every chance she had to talk about you, which would be every time she opened her mouth, she just ripped you apart. Like, that is such a lie. And then you continue this false narrative so that you can keep being the victim and you keep being poor Joe. It's like so frustrating because Katie said a couple times she didn't even want to deal with you. You were the one that got involved in her life, in her mess with her ex. She didn't get involved in your life. Oh my God, this woman. Every chance she got. I hate people who do that. I hate it. It's so manipulative and it's just lies.
Call out Schwartz as a fuckboy. At the like, I did not expect her to even go there. And was it validating? No, because again, it's almost as if like you're just kind of putting like a little bit of a Band-Aid on something that you just like ripped open for like a year. Like Joe's this, Joe's that, Joe's this, and then I'm going to be on the reunion and be like, hey, by the way, you're a fuckboy. Okay, well, where was that before? Like when you ripped me a new one every second you got, and then. Validation doesn't come from Katie. Validation came
every second. So the fact that she says,
like, if I get
and you rip me. Oh my gosh, when you rip me a new one, like a new asshole, like, oh my God, quit talking like a weird Midwestern dad. This is very strange. Rip me a new every second you got. What are you talking about? That is not true at all. Ugh, this lady. Oh my God.
Where was that before?
Stop.
Like when you ripped me a new one every second you got. And then validation doesn't come from Katie. Validation comes from, the people that I'm closest to. So like if I get validation from Sheena and Brock and Lala and like that doesn't go unnoticed. Mm-hmm. Those sweet people at the reunion were like, even Lisa and Andy even were like, wow, like we all thought Joe was lying, and then like Lala even was like, holy, I love how Lala.
She's clearly been hanging out with the Toms because every other word is like. And now they're going to, I think this is when, because I haven't listened to this whole thing, but this is when they start loving Lala. I think Lala, they're going to try to use Lala as their bridge back on the show.
Called him out, like really breadcrumbing you. That's exactly what he was doing. He didn't want to commit in a relationship. You guys were in a relationship, basically doing everything that a couple would do together.
Everything. I mean, I don't know how to more explain, like, okay, let's say that you're dating somebody and you go on a date, great, and then you wake up the next day and you're together and then you go walk the dogs and then you do like fun activities for a year and a half. I don't know how else you would date somebody. I mean, that is, and also we're talking like we're in our 30, he's almost 40, like, so we were committed. And I will say that 100%.
Do you take accountability for staying in that relationship despite Schwartz not putting a label on it?
Well, when we were together, there was a label. So
in your mind, going into this,
Rachel Raquel, this woman can't take accountability because she's perfect and she did nothing wrong. And Katie's a bully and Schwartz is going to figure it out. So she's not going to take accountability.
Season, you guys were in a committed relationship.
Correct.
So then how did it feel
when he hit me in certain scenes and I was just told to basically like put a single wristband on and then like paddleboard and be like,
yeah, why would you?
We're just friends? Okay. Because I was protecting what I thought was the most important thing at the time, which was the relationship with Schwartz and I just fell in love and I'm an idiot.
Looking back now, do you regret how many chances you gave him during this filming and him acting one way on camera and another off.
What kind of edits are these? These are just so clunky. I'm just an idiot who fell in love. Girl. It's coming off less love, more obsessed. More, I'm not going to let you go. I'll never let go, Jack. I'll never let go of you, Jack. And then you're like drowning him, allegedly. Kelly Cal, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, OMG, Rachel plus Joe planned to be the new Ariana and Katie. It sure looked that way. And it looked like the Toms were setting them up for that. And see, in early season 10, it sure looked that way. And now they're mad. They're big mad that didn't happen for them. So they're going to continue. That's why Rachel keeps going after Ariana and Joe keeps going after Katie, even though the real culprits are the Toms. So focus on the Toms. They're the ones that fucked you guys over. You know, they're the ones that are like, all right, I guess the plan's not going to work. On to new and different, which is what they do to women. But you thought you were different for some reason. I don't know. Oh my goodness. You guys thought you were cool. The cool girls. It didn't work out being the cool girl. So now you're just going to go hate on the women who experienced far worse than you at the hands of these assholes rather than... okay, let's keep going.
I don't know how to explain this, but like...
Uh-oh, don't cry.
I still have a very hard time not being like around him.
Oh, God. I have to pause. I have a really hard time not being... What? Around him? Girl, I don't know how to explain this, but like, I still have a really hard time not being like around him. That's like some skin suit stuff. Okay, let's rewind a little
Looking
bit.
back now, do you regret how many chances you gave him during this filming and him acting one way on camera and another off?
Weird edit.
I don't know how to explain this, but like, I still have a very hard time not being like around him. Do I regret it? No.
Huh?
Why?
I don't know. I still really like, I've never been more happy, like weirdly in a weird way, like more happy with somebody. But I know it's this very relatable thing where it's like, you know, that person's probably clearly not good for you.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that doesn't come with emotions. I've never laughed with somebody more and I'm looking for that again. Maybe I should regret it. I don't know if I regret it, but he shouldn't have to have this much weight on my life. But I've never met somebody who just the way that we would, I mean, I could just see us being old together. Like, that's the thing. It's like minus the TV, minus the show, minus the phones, minus all this bullshit, you know? I could see 100% him and I being easily compatible.
So minus everything he is and everything he does and everything he has. What is the... this is... Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I mean, we've all, I mean, you know, liked someone we shouldn't, but I mean, these are 36-year-olds and 50-year-olds. These are, it's, and how were you that happy? He was hiding you. And that apartment was very dirty. And I bet he made you water the plants. I wonder if she killed one of the plants and she was like, I don't know what happened. And he's like, you murdered the plants. But it's like, it wasn't a good apartment. He was kind of hiding you. How does Coors Light, I haven't drank in 12 years, but does Coors Light make you that happy? Is it mushrooms? Is there some kind of drugs going around in Los Angeles I didn't get to try that make you really, really happy? Because this surely didn't look like a happy relationship to us. Oh my word. Oh, we need to like cleanse the palate a little bit. Oh, it's just like,
It looks like we have some clowns who are desperate for airtime.
I think if I went for a midlife crisis, I would just be straight to I'll be out on a ranch just figuring that out, you know?
Brock, some people might say those shoes are a midlife crisis.
It did happen.
It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you. Like, it's important in the checks and balances of the universe that liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves.
Away in a manger, no crib for his bed. Nope, it's not gonna work. Hold on.
Totally, that's like off.
Okay, back into it, guys.
But that's not the case. So I shouldn't have given him so many chances. And thinking about it, I do think that what even means, like, what is giving somebody a chance if somebody doesn't, your partner doesn't even consider you, you know, even a partner, you know, if he didn't even consider me a partner, then maybe I didn't even have to even give him another chance.
I think it's important to remember, like, if you're in a situationship like this, like, you are worthy.
How did we get to this place where Rachel Raquel is giving relationship advice and Joe is just talking out of all the sides of the mouth, the butt, the everything? And goodness.
Of a loving, committed relationship.
Oh, so now we're all worthy of loving, committed relationships. The other women have spoken, ladies, and you are all worthy. As long as they don't get there and try to snatch that up, you're all worthy. Is the irony. The mistresses have spoken, and they are worthy. You guys, come on. Is this satire? What's happening?
You know, even a partner, you know, if he didn't even consider me a partner, then maybe I didn't even have to even give him another chance.
I think it's important to remember, like, if you're in a situationship like this, like, you are worthy of a loving, committed relationship, and you deserve that.
I agree.
Don't settle for something less. How did it feel seeing, or hearing rather, Schwartz talk about his new girlfriend in front of you?
Well, it didn't feel good. But I also, this is going to sound really, really weird, but I remember looking at Katie and she just did not have emotion on her face. And I'm like, wow, I want to get to that point. You know, like, not that point, but like, she just didn't give a F about whether or not who he was dating. Shout out to, I will say that was like the most realistic visual that I've.
So Katie's empowering you. She's sticking up for you, but still, she's a problem. She's horrible. She's hurt you so much. She's hurt you. But you can't stop mentioning her. Of course, Katie doesn't care. She knows he's a slut. Schwartz is a slut. Sandoval's a slut. They're slutty dudes. They're sluts. They're slutty sluts that slut. Okay, they're the sluttiest sluts that ever slutted in the sluts. If we're going to slut shame the women, we got to slut shame the men. Slutty sluts. Oh, Sina, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, I think Hippie and Joe's dogs would be together and look at the four of them and just both laugh and cry at these schools. I think they probably both were like planning their escape routes at this point. Can you imagine? Both Hippie and Checkers had to watch these people bang it out and have conversations, because Tom Sandoval said, we only had sex sometimes. Mostly we just we talked like we talked. Oh my goodness. So now Katie is inspiring her. But yeah, Beyonce says, pay dust to side chicks. Lala is cozying up to fellow side chicks. Oh, hashtag save Checkers. We still got to save Checkers.
Remember seeing. But I mean, I also felt empowered because he said it finally out loud to the world, because he didn't have the confidence to say it to me.
At what point was it that you were like, shoot, like, this is not a relationship anymore?
I went to go pick up my stuff and
What? You guys, I can't. I'm so, ouch. I'm so struggling. Okay. What point? I went to go pick up my stuff. You mean like after a breakup? That would be it's over. That's not a relationship. Did she just say, I went to go pick up my stuff? They usually do that when you're done with something. But even then, you're like, I think we're still together. I think he's just getting sick of my stuff. Not me.
Confidence to say it to me.
At what point was it that you were like, shoot, like, this is not a relationship anymore?
I went to go pick up my stuff and No, he hugged me with like a half hug. It was like a pat on the back.
He was like, good to see you, buddy. It wasn't that he was calling you a gentleman's name. Oh my gosh. Okay.
2000s.
So many.
Then that's not the right person.
Okay, here we go.
I'm excited to see 100% over Schwartz in reality, but I'm ready to do it with some. I don't feel like I'm being anyone. Yeah, he asked, because I know you're.
Visit pedigree.com/
Visit pedigree.com/Rachel Raquel Goes Rogue.
adoption-drive to learn more and see full terms and conditions.
Okay, can't wait to not do that.
Do you feel like, because I know you're still hung up on it and you're still processing it.
Do you feel like that was great.
Processing it for sure.
And I feel like with the show and everything, you're reliving things, so it's harder to move on.
I don't know how you did it again.
But Schwartz did ask you, like, are you dating anyone?
Yeah, he asked me at the reunion. He's sitting 2 feet away from me, not even that, like 1 foot away from me. And he's like, are you dating anybody? I was like, no. Like, you know that I'm not dating anybody.
Do you feel like moving forward?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You feel
very
like
much
you're
so.
ready?
No, I don't feel like I'm ready to date anybody unless I actually get to a place where it just happens. For me, it just, like, I could meet somebody like tonight and be like, hey, because I don't know if I'm ready, but I'm ready to do it with somebody else that's ready to do it too,
Yes.
Ready for me means that.
I don't know if I'm ready, but I'm ready to do it. And I'm ready to do it with someone who wants to do it to me too. And then we're just going to do it. They're going to do it. Ready for me means that there's not like a ready or a not ready. What? These people had to be talking while intoxicated or on shrooms because none of this makes sense. She's literally going to say, ready for me means that there's not like a ready or a not ready. Huh? What? That's not English.
It's where
Oh my God.
it just happens. For me, it just, like, I could meet somebody like tonight and be like, hey, because I don't know if I'm ready, but I'm ready to do it with somebody else that's ready to do it too,
Yes.
Ready for me means that there's not like a ready or not a ready. So people think that needs to be, I need to move on from a certain person before I can get involved with another person. To be honest with you, in reality, I still think about the wonderful moments of other, like, there's always lingering moments, right? It doesn't need to be like a black and white thing. When I will find somebody, I know that I will not be potentially 100% over Schwartz, but I know that the person that will be with me will help me get there and take it day by day, because that other person too probably has an ex that is a little bit hung up, potentially, who knows? I'm excited to see what the future holds, and if that's the right person, they're going to understand my journey, because it's not easy to do it, not only like on my own, but also like on TV. So I don't think that I have an answer.
Oh God, I can't. What? Huh? If I find someone, if I don't find someone, I'm ready, but not ready. But no one's really ready. And if I'm ready, then I'm ready. And then you're not. You can't be ready because there's no ready. No one's ready. But if I'm ready and he's ready, then we're ready. And I want to do it when we're both ready. But the person, I haven't met the person yet, obviously. But when I do meet the person, I definitely won't be over Schwartz. How do you know? What if you don't meet him for like 2 years? But then he'll probably have someone he's hung up on. But we'll both be ready. We'll be ready for vaginal intercourse or others intercourses, which there are, but there's, yeah, but we can do it the married way, missionary married, or we could go back to, there's things we could do. Huh? What? NYCMP, thank you for the super chat, says JNS relationship. So Joe and Schwartz relationship had wrong preposition. You want in, not around the relationship. Need all the receipts. Whomever shows us wins. Yep. Katie, work your magic. # save checkers. Yep. Exactly. We need to see that. We need to see all of the receipts. All the receipts. I'm scared for the world right now. Kristen, I'm afraid. I'm afraid for me. I am afraid for me. This is some creepy ass shit.
For that, actually, because I don't think that there needs to be like a cut clean.
What?
Everyone thinks that should be the thing, and I don't think that. Am I over Schwartz? No, but my person that probably will come over into my life, he'll be able to understand that, and if he doesn't, then that's not the right person. How does it?
I feel like she might be banging somebody else already, because she's talking as if or she's psychic, or she's like going to build a bear, build a man. I don't know. But my person that will probably come over into my life, okay, he'll be able to understand that. And if he doesn't, then that's not the right person. I think he's in her trunk. I'm just throwing this out. There might be a man in her trunk who needs to be saved. All right. Oh my gosh.
Feel knowing that Schwartz is now dating this girlfriend of his publicly.
Depends on the day. How I feel about that is, like on a Monday, I'm like, I'm so proud of him. I'm so grateful that he's doing this and he's doing it.
What? On a Monday, I am waiting. It's like an Ashley Simpson song. It doesn't make sense and it doesn't sound good. No offense, all offense. Oh my God. So Rachel Raquel says, how does it feel to know that your ex who wouldn't claim you and said you weren't in a relationship is now in a relationship and has a girlfriend? So publicly he's dating. And Joe goes, depends on the day. I mean, how I feel about it. That is, like on a Monday. I'm so proud of him. I'm so grateful that he's doing this and he's doing it. What? Oh my God. Thank you, Punk Rock Girl 54 for becoming a member. Appreciate you. Nika Moon, thank you for the super sticker. You guys, what is happening? What is happening right now? And now I just have Ashley Simpson. On a Monday, I am waiting. On a Tuesday, I'll put you in my trunk and I'll stay you. Okay.
Not necessarily publicly or privately, whatever it is, but I'm like on a Monday, I'm like, oh, I'm so glad that he's happy. I'm hoping he's happy. And then like on a Tuesday, I'll like be doing hair and something will like trigger me, like, and I'm like, I miss him. I'm very grateful that he's happy because I know when unhappiness comes out of you like a volcano, it shows. At the end of the day, at the end of the week, I'm very happy that he's got a beautiful relationship and he's happy. So as much as
That's not what you said on your lives. You said that he was dating a fan, that she was a fan of the show, Joe. You also said, I haven't met him. I mean, her. And then you said you may have met her. Joe.
I'm sad. It's more of I'm happy for him. I'm very proud of him. I'm hoping he finds happiness.
I just want to commend you really quick because you feel your emotions really hard.
I just want to commend you really quick. This is like the first lady circle jerk I've ever been invited to. It's like a labia jerk. What is happening, you guys? I just want to commend you because you feel your emotions really hard. Yeah. Oh my God.
I'm very happy that he's got a beautiful relationship and he's happy. So as much as I'm sad, it's more of I'm happy for him. I'm very proud of him. I'm hoping he finds happiness.
I just want to commend you really quick because you feel your emotions really hard.
So do you.
Yeah, but I have like this ability, which isn't a great thing, to suppress my emotions. And like feeling your emotions fully helps you heal and you're not denying anything and you have the right to feel whatever you're feeling. So I just want to point that out.
Where are the adults? We need an adult to come. She's denying everything. The world is a denial to her. What are you talking about? You just feel so hard. And I have this way of like pushing down my emotions, like when I'm cheating with one of my closest friends, significant others at her house in her bed while she's mourning the dead. I just have a really I guess it's not the best thing for me to just be able to like push all the feelings down so I can just keep getting organisms. What is this happening? I didn't think it was going to be this bad, you guys. I really didn't think it was going to be this bad. Chickenhead, thank you. Chickenhead PK Neely for the super chat. She is a Dolulu. Oh, good God.
To suppress my emotions and like feeling your emotions fully helps you heal and you're not denying anything and you have the right to feel whatever you're feeling. So I just want to point that out.
Thank you, babe.
Yeah.
I really just appreciate that. Back to the reunion.
Yeah, back to the reunion. Tom Sandoval says about your relationship with Schwartz. The way that it was portrayed on the show was different.
I think Joe just shit her pants. Did you guys hear that?
Point that out.
Thank you, babe. Yeah, I really just appreciate that. Back to the reunion.
Yeah, back to the reunion. Tom Sandoval says about your relationship with Schwartz. The way that it was portrayed on the show was different than how it was. Would you agree?
Well, I don't know why he would say that because he wasn't in the relationship. So,
Or was
I
it?
would agree with him personally. How you saw the relationship on the show is not how it actually was.
Shocker. Rachel agrees with Sandoval. More news at 9.
In real life.
yeah, that makes sense because in my mind, I was thinking like, why would you speak on my relationship when you don't even like really know about my relationship? But then he's kind of pointing it out that like, yep, he's right. Yep, I guess we're gonna give Tom Sandoval a point. I would agree. You're right. I just read that question incorrect.
No, I know, but I think other people may have also because immediately Lala was like,
"Oh yeah, she was
don't
Lala.
Stop gaslighting her. It's not the show." Got a little defensive.
It was nice to see Tom Sandoval kind of step up and be like, "Guys, by the way, whether or not he was like being kind or not to me, it was almost like his truth was coming out about the Schwartz and Joe show, basically."
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see totally. Yeah. And it was nice to see Lala supporting
Whoa. No. This is what Tom Sandoval does. He is a Judge Judy to everybody else while he lays and lives in a bed of lies. We know this, Tom Sandoval. That's every season of Vanderpumprules until season 10 when he was outed. He's been a Judge Judy, the narrator of everyone else's mistakes, and he's so perfect. And he's so great. So what are you talking about? These women. No. This is really bad. It was nice to see Tom Sandoval kind of step up and be like, guys, by the way, whether or not he was being kind or not to me, it was almost like his truth was coming out about the Schwartz and Joe show. Oh my, this might be the worst podcast I've ever listened to in my whole life. And I've listened to so many bad podcasts.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing.
Her point was like, okay, he's gaslighting you.
Yeah.
And this
See Tom Sandoval kind of step up and be like, guys, by the way, whether or not he was like being kind or not to me, it was almost like his truth was coming out about the Schwartz and Joe show, basically.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see Lala supporting you too.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing.
Her point was like, okay, he's gaslighting you.
Yeah.
And this is
she was like, bam, 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 bam.
It's literally making you crazy.
I looked at Lala. I remember she was across from me and I was just like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like I wanted to like wink at her.
So would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would you blame the show for the discrepancies?
No, I blame Schwartz.
Fair.
Sorry. Yeah, he had a choice.
Rachel's still trying to get her on board with what did you blame the show? Because we could sue them together with my friend Bethany. But then I don't know if we can get on the show with Lala. So they're both loving Lala. It's only a matter of time, mark my words, before Lala, Rachel, and Joe are seen together. They're on a podcast together. They're talking about this. They're going to talk about the toxic fandom. It's going to be all our faults. Nobody else's fault. And, you know, they're all in their soft era while yelling at us. And Joe still is like, I'm not blaming production because she still wants back on the show. Rachel's like, okay, I guess that's fine. I still think that Bravo didn't protect me by not paying my Meadows bill. But if we can be friends with Lala, I guess I'll let it go. If she can get us back on the show.
I looked at Lala. I remember she was across from me and I was just like, oh.
And Joe wanted to wink at her. Lala, you're next, baby girl. Baby girl, you're next, baby girl. Lala, you better hide on Amazon Live. You better hide your location because now Joe wants to wink at you. Good luck. Single white female.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like I wanted to like wink at her.
So would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would you blame the show for the discrepancies?
No, I blame Schwartz.
Fair.
Sorry.
Yeah.
He had a choice.
When Andy asks if Schwartz ever asked you to lie about your relationship during filming, you said no.
Great. This is a really good point.
Do you still stand by that?
No.
Oh
Why
my God.
did you feel the need to lie for him?
I don't know. I think at the moment, I mean, my heart and my soul were still so attached to him. And it was a moment of like,
because you're a liar, according to Tom Schwartz. He said, you love to lie. It's pathological. It's compulsive. You can't even control it, he said. Oh my gosh. So now she's like, yes. Are the things that I was saying untrue? Yeah. But it was only because I was trying to protect my man. Don't mess with my man. I'm going to be the one to tell the lies.
Great. This is a really good point.
Do you still stand by that?
No.
Why did you feel the need to lie for him?
I don't know. I think at the moment, I mean, my heart and my soul were still so attached to him. And it was a moment of like, I'll just sit here, and the quicker I can answer these questions, the quicker I can kind of get off the stage kind of thing. If I had said yes, I know that Schwartz would have turned on me kind of, you know. I just could feel that he might have.
Ooh, she's taking a page out of Rachel's book, part 3 of the reunion, when Rachel was like, have we been together more? Yeah, it wasn't just one time. It was a lot of times when I went to St. Louis for Christmas and we banged when the dog died and the grandma died. And it's just like a really bad look to have sex with your friend's boyfriend when they're mourning. And now Joe is, but he made me. And now Joe is like, Schwartz would have been mad at me.
And like, because you could see him being like, like, thank gosh she said no. And I was doing something for him than out of for me. Yeah. Oh, I remember that moment. I was like,
oh, she's she's so selfless. I want to help him more than I want to help me. I don't want him to hurt. Oh my gosh. Oh my Lordy. She was doing it for him, you guys. She's a really good person.
For him than out of for me. Yeah. Oh, I remember that moment. I was like, why did I say no? Yeah.
Do you still feel a responsibility to protect his feelings?
No, I don't. I'm ready to say that out loud to the freaking universe.
Do you think he takes your feelings into consideration? The same?
Nope.
The same way?
Not even close. He could give 2 shits about me.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Me too, because
oh, I love Rachel's been practicing her empathy. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That is horrible. Okay, I got to listen to that in slower mo. Okay. Oh my gosh.
Out to the freaking universe.
Do you think he takes your feelings into consideration? The same?
Nope.
The same way?
Not even close. He could give 2 shits about me.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Me too, because...
Oh, I am sorry to hear that. Is that believable? And the producers are like, you're doing great, Rach. You're doing great. Thank you.
Well, I'm actually grateful because then that makes me get to a place of healing.
The reunion wasn't that long ago. What's happened between then and now?
It wasn't like I was covering up for him.
Okay, I'm going to listen to this in 0.5 because I think it'll be Drunko version. And maybe it'll make more sense because these two, I don't know if Rachel still is sober, but we know Joe likes to with Schwartz. So we're going to listen to it in 0.5. Can we listen to it in 0.5? Is that the lowest it goes is 0.75? I want to hear them in Drunko vision. Oh, well, whatever. 0.75.
Anything. It was more of in the moment when you're in a... Can you imagine? You're sitting there.
Uh-huh.
First reunion.
Yep.
The man of your dreams is next to you.
I can't. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. The man of your dreams? He didn't even have a proper couch. It took him like a year to hang up his TV on the wall. Okay, if Rob's putting it up in 7 minutes, it took him 12 months. There's got to be something in between. No. Can you imagine the man of your dreams, Freddy Krueger, is staring at you?
Friend, the last thing you want to do is piss him off.
What?
It was more of in the moment when you're in can you imagine?
Yeah.
You're sitting there.
Okay.
First reunion.
Uh-huh.
The man of your dreams is next to you.
Oh,
He's
God.
dating a new girlfriend. The last thing you want to do is piss him off.
Why?
Andy Cohen asked me and said,
That's the first thing I want to do is piss him off. If the man of my dreams, which, come on, it's Schwartz, is dating someone new, I want to piss him off all day, every day. What are you talking about? Oh my gosh.
hey, like, do you feel like you were covering up for, or whatever the question was? And I said no, because in my heart, I didn't think at that moment that I was.
Huh?
Looking back, I definitely was doing, not covering up, but definitely being a little not true to myself.
Oh,
And
God.
then now when I'm sitting,
Would that be considered lying, Kaylee? Would that be considered a lying? Because the man of your dreams said you're a compulsive liar.
here talking to you, Raquel, like I get to a place where I'm being able to express looking at something that happened in the past, living it right now in the present, and then going into the future. I'm hopefully saying that I'm over it.
What in the Marty McFly in the 1.21 gigawatts is she talking about? I'm living in the past, living it right now in the present, and then going into the future. What is going what? Oh my gosh. Thank you, Chicken Head. Says the man in my dreams treats me like a queen, not a hit and run. No, it's not a hit it and quit it. It's not a hit and run. Cammy, great point. On the VPR Party podcast interview she did, which we talked about last live stream, she says that she wasn't there when he was talking about his girlfriend because she's like, let me let you know a little secret. We were at Crafty. Okay, not Crafty, which is like craft services. If you guys don't know, if you're just like stupid. He says that it was an editing trick and she was off stage when he talked about his new girlfriend and they edited it to look like she was there. But now she's like, I was there. Joe, there's a lot of fibs. There's a lot of Fibonacci's going on right now. Okay, I got to hear her Marty McFly explanation, Back to the Future again.
Raquel, like I get to a place where I'm being able to express looking at something that happened in the past,
Okay.
living it right now in the present, and then going into the future. I'm hopefully saying that I'm over him.
I think from that moment that you said, no, I haven't lied for him, to the moment that you're sitting in this chair now, you've realized that you've betrayed yourself.
100%. I definitely did. And yeah, the moment I sat in that chair.
Rachel just said you played yourself. Like Rachel Raquel just told you played yourself.
On that stage and said no. And then sitting here and saying, I wish I would have said yes to Andy Cohen's question at the reunion. I feel like I betrayed myself.
I understand. This was your first reunion, right?
Yes.
I understand that.
Rachel, you were there. You would know. Rachel, you were just on last season, the season before, the season before, the season before. Had you seen her at a previous reunion, Rach? This is your first reunion, right? Yes, it is. You would have known that, Rachel. Oh my goodness. Chickenhead, thank you for the super chat. The lies in our Candy Burris voice. Brooklyn Rose says Joe's grammar is so bad she comes across deranged. And the inability to finish her sentences, her thoughts, and then the lies around it. It's very difficult to follow. But how did Rachel go, this is your first reunion, right? Because I don't remember seeing you unless you were like sitting behind Lala's tats. Because like sometimes they get bigger and I wouldn't have noticed you because Lala has to show her body and have sex with my guy, James Kennedy, when we were together because she gives me Mistress Bimbo vibes.
Oh my God, Raquel, yes.
Like walking to a room full of people that haven't supported you and you're like, oh my God, hi. When you walk onto the stage, it's almost like, All right, here we go. And you almost
like an airplane.
disassociate. I don't know. For me, anyway, it's like an out of body experience.
Yes.
You're like, okay, I am literally stepping.
Yes. Like
and
you're
walking. I can see my hands and my feet. It's weird.
And it's like an airplane taking off. You know, when you're about to like take off on an air, and you're like, here we go. And you're like, where are my feet? Where are my hands? Am I gripping? I'm good. Okay. And 3, 2, 1, bam.
What? Is she talking about getting shot out of a cannon? Going to outer space? Being on the gravitron? Does she think that's how it is when you're flying? She said it's like an airplane taking off. You think it goes 3, 2, 1, bam? What kind of airplanes is she flying? That bitch, that's the gravitron. That is a carnival ride. What are you talking about? Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Okay.
Chef, there's a line from you will.
And that tells Ziggy, I hope. Right.
This music. Ooh,
I think it's important to talk about how the girls were so mean to you this whole season. I'm thinking back to Hotel Ziggy and them all.
Rachel, you're the meanest girl of all. What you did is the meanest girl of all. So say how was Ariana mean to her? What did Ariana do to her? Katie had some colorful descriptors. Sheena took the hat off. Come on. All season. I think it's important to talk about the girls are mean to you the whole season. Ladies.
All like giggling, gossiping, and
I hope that Joe's uncomfortable.
Listen, I hope giggle and gossip about me all you want. But don't say you're my best friend, look me in the face and talk to me about my relationship while you're having sex with my significant other. Okay? I'll take the giggly gossiping over you banging my dude in my bed. These women, what are we going to do with them?
I think it's important to talk about how the girls were so mean to you this whole season. I'm thinking back to Hotel Ziggy and them all like giggling, gossiping, and
I hope that Joe's uncomfortable at Hotel Ziggy. I hope that she's the rat girl. I can't believe she plugged her ears. I can't believe that she would even show up here.
Yeah. And then cut to the reunion that we just watched.
I can't believe that she would plug her ears. I can't believe she would show up here. Talk about dramatic. This was very dramatic. This was a little too much. A little too much for a lady who was real comfortable going into this friend group and eating Ariana's food while going on double dates with Ariana's boyfriend and his mistress. Or a woman who moved in with a lady in the friend group's ex, possibly when they weren't even exes that long, or possibly now, who knows, when they were still together. I mean, this is all, I mean, we got two liars telling us the story here with Tom Schwartz and Joe, you know, and then you have someone who's willing to text Katie and be like, I love you, Bieber loves you, me. And then just go move in on her dude and stop talking to her friend Kristen. I mean, oh my gosh. Very, very, very melodramatic here with this.
And they are all singing a very different tune.
And that basically is such a disconnect for my brain.
Wait, what?
It's almost as if like
what?
You're a rat girl.
Rat
I can't
girl.
believe she plugged her ears. I can't believe that she would even show up here.
Yeah. And then cut to the reunion that we just watched. And they are all singing a very different tune.
And that basically is such a disconnect for my brain because you're sitting there and you're witnessing these people that rocked your therapy bill. I was very uncomfortable.
They're Coors Light and mushrooms and Tom Schwartz couch is not therapy, girl.
It's almost as if like you're, you know, a 10-year-old and then you're like high-fiving like your best friend and then she turns on you and dates like your little cute crush. You know, it's like a weird
What? That's what Rachel did. That's literally what the lady next to you did. Joe's explaining the situation, describing it with the other women, saying it's almost as if you're 10 years old and then you're high-fiving your best friend and then she turns on you and dates your cute crush. That's what Rachel did, and that's what you did to Katie. You literally gave her a high-five text. We're in the friend group, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm dating Schwartz now." And Rachel Raquel's like, "Oh, I'm banging Sandoval." What? These ladies. I mean, there's no this. Who is therapizing these people? It is not working.
thing where it's like they say all these nasty things and then they come at me at the reunion.
Oh, they say all these nasty things like she's weird. So nasty. Just nasty.
And they're like supporting me. And you're looking at them like, I don't even have your phone number.
The excuse that they gave for bullying you was that supposedly you knew about my involvement with Tom Sandoval.
Listen.
Yeah, you did.
When you rip me apart at
what?
Not only a function, aka Hotel Ziggy.
What?
And tell me that I'm, you know, I want her to be uncomfortable. I want Joe, she's a rat girl. And then you go.
Why is she dancing around this question? The question is, did you know? Own it. Apologize to Ariana if you wanted to be in this friend group. Otherwise, if you don't own it, you don't give a shit, then these women owe you nothing, especially Ariana. Why are you this is the type of people. It's like you're being asked, your own friend Rachel Raquel's asking you a direct question and you're like, yeah, but what about Hotel Ziggy? And they called me rat girl and they said I was weird. Sheena took my hat off. I had to plug my ears. I have been through war. I mean, what?
With Tom Sandoval.
Listen, when you rip me apart at not only a function, aka Hotel Ziggy, and tell me that I'm, you know, I want her to be uncomfortable. I want Joe, she's a rat girl. And then you go 3 months later, what is that? 12 weeks later, film the reunion. And then you're saying, I'm so sorry, Joe, from Katie, about the way that your brain's not going to compute that.
Huh?
And it's going to take a long time from going from Hotel Ziggy to the reunion where it's these women are ripping me apart and then all of a sudden supporting me.
Yeah, I can see how confusing that can be because this whole time
But that wasn't the question. Let me tell you what the question was again that your friend Rachel asked. Okay. The excuse they gave for bullying you, I don't think Joe was bullied. You're never going to convince me that she was not bullied. Okay. So the excuse they gave for bullying you was that supposedly you knew about my involvement with Tom Sandoval. So did you know? And you're going all around. What?
And it's going to take a long time from going from Hotel Ziggy to the reunion where it's these women are ripping me apart and then all of a sudden supporting me.
Yeah, I can see how confusing that can be because this whole time you're
massively
like, I'm not safe around these people.
I'm not safe around these people.
And then it's like a switch where
all of a sudden
now
you see my face being like
you were shocked.
It
just seems like there's a double standard for the girls icing you out. Kyle Chan knew about my involvement with Tom and they're all supporting him at this finale party. And it just seems like, you know, there's no consequences for anyone but Joe. It seems like the girls are holding you to a higher standard of accountability than the other guy.
Well, I don't know what Kyle Chan owes Katie, and I don't know how well Katie owes Kyle Chan. I will say that, yeah, it is like unfortunate, the Kyle Chan of it all, because I just don't enjoy him on the show. But again, we're it's all the what about. Well, what about Kyle Chan? Well, what about they called me rat girl? Well, what about the crack comment? Well, what about? So your inability to take accountability is showing by just the what about it. It's like, what? Oh my gosh. You're coming into the show as like a cast member, kind of, with, friend of, but you're doing some interviews and confessionals. I don't know. Did Kyle Chan, did he sleep with Schwartz too? Should Katie call him rat girl too? I don't know.
Kyle Chan apparently is very much very close to this group. And, Max is also very much connected. And then he slept with Katie. And at the end of the day, it was all focused on the female who was dating Tom Schwartz at the time.
Oh, don't go getting feminist on me now. You two hate women. You show it every way you can. Don't go playing that now. You don't get to use us and be like, yeah, they're coming against the women. Literally, there was examples of the women like coming to to assist you, to help you. Katie didn't owe you anything. And she was like, yeah, you're being a fuckboy. Even on the actual season, it wasn't like she changed. Joe wants to have them change the narrative to Katie's whole attitude about me change when she gets to the reunion. No. In the actual season, in the episodes, when her and Schwartz went to Mel's diner, Katie was like, well, hello. She was calling him a fuckboy then too, about how he was treating you. And she doesn't owe you anything. This is, when is this over? Oh my God, these two women are so delusional.
Close to this group. And, Max is also very much connected. And then he slept with Katie. And at the end of the day, it was all focused on the female who was dating Tom Schwartz at the time.
Yep, Grace, never trust a lady or a man who's like, these females out here. If they can't say women, they can't respect them.
And I was getting ridiculed and ripped apart. It all amounts to nothing because now they're understanding my perspective. It's like, okay, so now you want to I will say Lala was really, I really think that I don't want to.
Speaking of Lala,
yeah,
she asks why everyone is gaslighting you about these feelings that you have. It seems like everyone kind of sees your side here.
I think I started crying. I think so, for sure. Because in my mind, she was really breaking a moment that really affected me. It was a moment of
wow, I feel seen.
I feel seen.
Oh my God.
It's not like they're my best friends. Yeah. I don't even have their.
Oh my God. I feel seen. Yeah. You felt seen in these dudes' beds with these, what? I feel seen. I feel seen as a female. First of all, Joe, I'm going to tell you right now. Here's how you win the ladies over. All ladies, whether it be fans or the cast, you got to expose the Toms. You got to start telling the truth and expose the Toms. That's it. Easy as that. Quit simping for these limp dick losers. Stop it. It's not working for you. And it's not fun to listen to. Schwartz is out here saying you're a compulsive liar. You scared the shit out of his sister. And yet you're like, I just want the best for, ma'am, stop it. No. Be the feminist we need. More messages, ma'am.
Freaking phone number.
And ones from Sandoval too.
Right. But I'm just saying in that moment, it's a little bit too late.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. I will say this though. If there comes a place where Lala and I would open up a part of my heart to her, not my whole. Definitely. And
she just said she's going to open up part of her heart to Lala, but not her whole. And that could be taken lots of weird ways. Okay. That I took it. They are trying to grease the wheels on Lala. And let me tell you, it is not going to take much because Lala's got 2 mortgages now. And she is struggling with this, will the show return? So she's probably talking to Rachel Raquel about coming back on the show. I guarantee it, like the Men's Warehouse. So this is very interesting.
That might be it because she was really, really sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would have liked to have more support this season.
I would have really liked to have more support this season. And the only one that did support me in the female arena was Lala. And I will say this, Allie too. It wasn't like it was like my.
What did she say in the female arena? What is wrong with this lady? First of all, Lala is not going to come at the support because you're a woman. She's going to come at the support of where's the money. Follow the money. Follow the storyline. Oh my goodness. They're working something behind the scenes. That's just my speculation. Something's going on. My Vanderpumprules conspiracy tinfoil Craig hat is on.
Really, really sweet. Yeah.
So you would have liked to have more support this season.
I would have really liked to have more support this season. And the only one that did support me, like in the female arena, was Lala. And I will say this, Allie too. Like it wasn't like it was like my best friends, right? But it was just I got ripped, in like the way that you did too. So it was nice that there was even like a good crumble of like a little 25% of support from Lala, where it was like, thank goodness. Cause like everybody else was like, who's this rat girl?
You broke down when Andy asked.
The only person that said it was Katie, and it was like a freaking colorful descriptor comment. She goes, "Oh, she's a rat girl." I don't remember hearing anyone else say you're a rat girl. You were creating this whole thing to try to garner sympathy from people or something. Oh my gosh. She said everyone else. So it was nice that there was a good crumble of like 25%. Oh, crumble. Oh, I want a cookie. 25% from Lala, where it was like, thank goodness. Joe, when did you become the biggest victim on this show? When were you the one that was so hurt? And why would they support you? Did you support Ariana when all that stuff was going down with her and you were eating her food and going on double dates with her partner and his mistress? Was that supportive? Were you supporting Katie when she was going through the breakup of her relationship and her marriage? And then you started banging Schwartz? Were you supporting Kristen when you just stopped being friends with her so you could bang Schwartz? Why do you feel so entitled to these things you don't give in friendships and relationships? Nobody owes this chick anything. What kind of woman is this? This is real. And this is a 36-year-old. It may be 24. I'd be like, okay, she's got, if like Tom Schwartz's new girlfriend, the little cute fetus girl, if she was saying this kind of stuff, I go, well, she's got some years to learn. But this is a woman pushing 40 years old saying this.
Katie, about the name calling.
Oh yeah, massively. And like a good crumble.
Oh my God. The name calling. Ma'am, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words shall never hurt me. You're almost 40. I mean, and just, that you're spooky. This is spooky. It's creepy. Those are literally what Katie said. They're just colorful descriptors. You're not being bullied. Oh my goodness.
Support me, like in the female arena, was Lala. And I will say this, Allie too. Like it wasn't like it was like my best friends, right? But it was just I got ripped, in like the way that you did too. So it was nice that there was even like a good crumble of like a little 25% of support from
you. Didn't get ripped. You got hit with reality. You literally got hit with reality. You got hit with criticism for your actions and the way you moved within a friend group. Rachel Raquel got criticized and called out with reality for the situation that she put herself in and that she continued to do to betray her friend. Nobody got ripped. Nobody. Take this ripped back to Kohler, Wisconsin. We don't have time for this. This is so weird to me. Those like riptide shit.
Where it was like, thank goodness. Cause like everybody else was like, who's this rat girl?
You broke down when Andy asked Katie about the name calling.
Oh yeah, massively.
Why did that hit you so hard?
When Andy Cohen asked me about the name calling, I remember thinking, oh no, here we go. In my mind, I remember thinking, like, do I go the pathetic route and like just kind of like, in my mind, pathetic would be like me just sitting there stoically and being like, yeah, everything's fine. And it did not register. And I just felt like I was just so emotionally sad, and it just all flooded out. And then when Katie was trying to deny some of the, the name calling.
Yeah, you held your ground.
I did, with some tears on my cheeks.
Yes, you literally mirrored back to her exactly what she said.
There's no excuse. You don't get to call me this, that, and the other. You don't get to talk.
That Leah Lewis, that is the perfect comment. Joe rolling out her cross. She's like, yeah, Joe getting nailed to the cross like Jesus Christ over here. Ma'am. Oh my goodness. It literally is just like, they said I was weird. They asked me why I was wearing a hat. No one has suffered like I've suffered. Joe, stop it. The passion of Kaylee Jo Wenberg. Oh my goodness. Schwartz, direct this on Schwartz. Okay, stop this, Kaylee.
To me that way. So I felt good about being like, there's no excuse. You don't get to talk about the fact that you're going through something really tough. What do you think I'm going through, Katie? Her excuse was she wasn't supportive.
Oh my God. What do you think I'm going through, Katie? You never had an ounce, a minute, a second of empathy for what Katie was going while her marriage was breaking up and all of these big life changes were happening. And you were in the circle to see how poorly Schwartz treated her. You had zero empathy for her. You were like, ugh, move on already. I want to bang your ex-husband. Move on, hurry up. And now you're like, what if I go through, Katie? This chick, as much as I want you to go and, karma Schwartz and stuff, I want you to go away because it's so gross. This whole new reality you're creating.
Tell me this, that, and the other. You don't get to talk to me that way.
Yeah, they do.
So I felt good about being like, her excuse was she wasn't supportive.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I'll talk to you that way. I'm going to talk to you that way. I'm so tired of this chick. I'll talk to you that way. Ugh.
And then when Katie was, and it did not register. I just felt like I was just so emotionally sad and it just all flooded out. And then when Katie was trying to deny some of the, the name calling.
Yeah, you held your ground.
I did, with some tears on my cheeks.
Yes, you literally mirrored back to her exactly what she said.
There's no excuse. You don't get to call me this, that, and the other. You don't get to talk to me that way. So I felt good about being like, there's no excuse. You don't get to talk about the fact that you're going through something really tough. What do you think I'm going through, Katie? Her excuse was she wasn't supported by.
You're going through a case of the delusions, the delulu. Katie was married to this man. She owned a home with this man. She had a life with this man. You were fucking him in a shitty apartment on a rebound. I don't understand how at 36, damn near 37, close to 40, you don't understand that. Somehow this comparison thing, you guys would fit in with Lala, but how you're comparing the two. Well, what about me? Nobody cares. No, we don't even know you. You literally signed up for that. You saw how he moved and you still were like, I want on that. I want to bleach that head and get used.
People in this room. She said, it's not about you. It wasn't nice. It wasn't kind.
I'm sorry that I wasn't kind and I'm sorry that I wasn't nice. Okay. How are you going to fix that?
Right. And
what? Katie literally said, it's not about you, bitch. It's not about you. I'm going through so much. You were just the last thing I needed in my life right now. You just made it 100 times harder. And Schwartz is playing you too. How are you going to... Why would she fix? You fix your own life, Joe. Why are you couch surfing at 36? Why is this happening? Oh my God, we need Ariana. This didn't happen. You did it. This lady.
Nothing happened. You did it.
Nothing happened, Joe. You did it. These are choices you made as an adult. Oh my God. How are you going to fix it? What are you talking about? What do you want her to pay your rent? What do you want her to save your dog who's allegedly going blind, but now we haven't heard anything more about it? Oh my goodness. This lady.
Her excuse was she was tell me this, that, and the other. You don't get to talk to me that way. So I felt good about being like, there's no excuse. You don't get to talk about the fact that you're going through something really tough. What do you think I'm going through, Katie?
Nothing.
Her excuse was she wasn't supported by many people in this room. She said, it's not about you. It wasn't nice. It wasn't kind.
I'm sorry that I wasn't kind and I'm sorry that I wasn't nice. Okay. How are you going to fix that?
Right. And what she said on part 1 of the reunion, she said, it's intention versus...
How are you going to fix that? What are you going to do? What are you going to offer me? What do you got for me, huh? What are you going to buy some of my breakup outfits? Oh my goodness.
Packed. Like you could have an intention of not bringing this much harm.
Yes.
But the way that it impacted you
yes.
was insanity.
Insanity. Pick a lane.
I know, and that's literally all I could think about when Katie was saying this.
These two are a damn joke. Thank you, Senna. Senna says it's one thing. It's one thing is comparison. The next is the mistresses are attacking the girlfriends and the wives. The girlfriends are leaving them alone, right? Katie's like, I just please just stay away from me. I'm trying to process my own stuff. She's like, I just want to talk to you. I want to apologize. She's like, please get away from me. And Schwartz is like, come on, let's go. And then she's like, why don't you like me? And she's like, you're weird. You're being weird. Everything about you is weird. Get out of my orbit. Just please leave me alone. This is, we need a therapist, not Dr. Drew, like a good one to go over this.
Versus impact. Like you could have an intention of not bringing this much harm.
Yes.
But the way that it impacted you
Yes.
was insanity.
Insanity. Pick a lane.
I know. And that's literally all I could think about when Katie was saying this apology to you, because it's like, in a way, I empathize with her that, yeah, it wasn't about you. Maybe it wasn't about you, Joe.
Yeah.
She was dealing with her shit.
But how would I know?
But
how would I know?
Her actions still have.
Because she told you. And if you're this nice, kind, perfect person you say you are and you're so great, then you would understand that and you would empathize with another woman going through something that's far greater than whatever's happening over in your little world. And you would accept the apology. How would you know that? Because she told you, and still you're like, it wasn't soon enough. I don't like it.
Pick a lane.
I know. And that's literally intention versus impact. Like you could have an intention of not bringing this much harm.
Yes.
But the way that it impacted you
Yes.
was insanity.
Insanity. Pick a lane.
I know. And that's literally all I could think about when Katie was saying this apology to you, because it's like, in a way, I empathize with her that, yeah, it wasn't about you. Maybe it wasn't about you, Joe.
Yeah.
She was dealing with her shit.
But how would I know?
But
how would I know?
Her actions still have consequences on your life.
Right.
Was it hard watching that scene?
What actions did Katie do that have consequences on Joe's life? What? Because she said you were spooky? What are what? There were no actions that Katie took that should have had any impact on Joe's life. Now, Joe's actions, that's a different story. Rachel Raquel's actions, that's a different story. They both impacted Katie's life. But how did Katie impact their life? She literally existed on a show she was already on. And you two bitches rolled up like, we're going to fuck someone, shut up. Like, what are you talking about?
Back, Katie trying to excuse her behavior towards you.
What?
You, Joe.
Yeah.
She was dealing with her shit.
But how would I know?
But
how would I know?
Her actions still have consequences on your life.
Right.
Was it hard watching that scene back, Katie trying to excuse her behavior towards you?
Yeah, very hard.
Were you proud of how you handled it?
I was.
What?
Yeah, I felt like I handled it pretty well.
Katie sort of gives you an apology. Do you?
What? Oh my, they think they handled it well? You didn't handle anything this season well.
Consequences on your life.
Right.
Was it hard watching that scene back, Katie trying to excuse her behavior towards you?
Yeah, very hard.
Were you proud of how you handled it?
I was. Yeah, I felt like I handled it pretty well.
Katie sort of gives you an apology. Do you forgive her for her hurtful words?
I do not forgive her. I also don't forget it. And I also...
What kind of nice person are you that you're not? It's like so silly that you're out here trying to brand yourself as this really kind, nice person. And you're forgiving and hopeful and all the kind words for the guy that continues to fuck you over, embarrass you, and call you a compulsive liar and air out your personal business while you air out his. But the woman, Katie, who did nothing to you, you're like, I don't forgive her and I don't forget. Oh my gosh.
Won't be able to understand it unless I get an explanation, because it's very much of a double standard.
What?
Ariana has said that she hasn't. There's a couple moments that I wish I would not have watched that. Katie sort of gives you an apology. Do you forgive her for her hurtful words?
I do not forgive her. I also don't forget it. And I also won't be able to understand it unless I get an explanation, because it's very much of a double standard.
Ariana has said that she hasn't watched this season. Are there any moments from this season you wish you hadn't watched back?
There's a couple moments that I feel like I wish I would not have watched back. I think the one that really stuck with me was the scene where Schwartz and I were paddleboarding, because that was really happiness for both of us. The first part of the scene where he comes in with his blonde hair and we have the breakup quote unquote scene where I'm doing like the bird whistle to, you know, Gordo and Butters, and we just have like that cadence together. And then I think the other part that I regret watching was
oh my God,
when I was crying at the finale where, you know, Katie was kind of, was ripping me a new one.
This woman has never been ripped a new one. I just this is way worse than I thought it was going to be. Like, way worse.
I mean, that was tough to watch. And it was also tough to watch Schwartz kind of like then stand up for Katie afterwards. You know, I think that the biggest thing is that Schwartz is very much tied to Katie. And whenever that's over, he'll be free.
Okay, the problem is you are a toxic male apologist. Anything a man does, you and Rachel, you got an excuse for, mainly Joe, but you got an excuse for it. It's again, it's not Schwartz and his bad behavior. It's Schwartz because he's tied to Katie. So now probably even knowing that Schwartz has done in these podcasts and said you're a compulsive liar, pathological, all the things, you'll probably go, well, it's because he's still tied to Katie. So no matter what, you want to blame a woman for a man doing you wrong. And that's like the grossest kind of woman there is. Like, there is no bigger betrayal. It's really bad, Kaylee Joe, at this point. You want to make every excuse for this dude who continues to embarrass you. He dumped you and made it official with a fetus, with a baby woman, a woman who just graduated college. Who every interview, the first thing he says about her, she's super hot, but that's like the least thing I like about her. Then why is it the first thing you mention? Oh my gosh. Lady, get some help.
And that was tough to watch. And it was also tough to watch Schwartz kind of like then stand up for Katie afterwards. You know, I think that the biggest thing is that Schwartz is very much tied to Katie. And whenever that's over, he'll be free. I think the other thing that I regret was the way that I sat in my confessionals.
Watching that back.
Mm-hmm. Not a good look.
Joe, thank you for joining me today. I'm so happy to have you back, and just to know that you're hanging in there. And
yeah, hang in there, Joe. It's been really difficult for you. We all are just really worried about Joe and how Joe's doing after all this. What a damn joke. Like, you... This woman, she becomes more and more unlikable. Like, I thought, hey, maybe she'll become more likable because of the stuff with Schwartz and, you know, okay. And now she can out him. No. She just digs in. She hates women so much, and obviously hates herself, and projects all that onto these women, and then gives all the forgiveness and excuses for the problematic men. Again, she loves Tom Sandoval. Tom Sandoval literally called your relationship out at the reunion. He literally did revenge porn on your friend you're sitting next to talking to. What kind of woman empowerment is that? Why are you still friends with them? You're like, I still like him. I mean, I know what he did to Rachel Raquel and that, recording her fingerling herself and they're in the FaceTime. That, yeah, but you know, the courts will figure it out. Trash. Amy, no flipping why. Thank you for the super chat. If Katie hadn't offered this cuckoo bird an apology, they would be complaining about that. Exactly. Katie can't win in this situation because you got two women who are the literal side chicks. The literal, I'm so cool, I'm so different, they're going to treat me different. And then they get treated the damn same as all the other women were treated. And yet they don't have the light bulb go off in their head and go, maybe it's because I was being a pick-me and hating on other women. And maybe I should call out the problematic men and not want to be with them. Maybe if a guy's already in a relationship or speaking badly of his ex, maybe he's the problem and not the ex. Because then he just does the same thing to me. Ugh, I mean, dumb and dumber. There's no other way to put it. Willfully dumb and dumber at this point. It is ridiculous. Crimes against humanity. Yes, Monica says no one can win with these two. They're perpetual victims. They really are. And you're too old. Rachel Raquel, she's about to be 30 if she hasn't turned 30. But Joe, you're damn near 40. How is this happening? What is going on? I mean, we really, this would be the first place we would lift your ass up because we love the women, okay? But you continue to just shit and shit and shit on the girls. Oh my gosh, yes. Won't anyone think of the side chicks and their struggle? Please, please. Well, they really enlightened us. Yes, Kelly, these two Einsteins really enlightened us. Oh my goodness. This is just redunculous. The whole thing is cuckoo. I didn't think it would take that long to get through that, but I didn't expect it to be that bad. I really thought, okay, Schwartz is starting to call her out. He's blocked her everywhere. Hey, come on, give us a little something, Joseph. And she's like, Katie's so mean to me. She called me weird. Oh, you guys. All right. Well, we are at 2 hours and 40 minutes. And so I'm going to wrap it up here, you guys. But thank you so much to all of you who participated in the live chat. I appreciate you. Shout out to all my new members, my amazing super chatters. Shout out to Sasquatch, who gifted 10 memberships to my channel. Sam S., welcome to the membership. Alexia, welcome. Lala, thank you for being a member for 31 months. Jamie B. has been a member for 36 months. Artist, thank you for the super chat. NYCNP. Kovaji, is it Kovaji? Thank you so much. Cami, Susie Q, Kelly Cal, Senna, Nico Moon, Lee Armstrong, Renee, did I? Yep, I read yours. Tiffany, Charity Hagwood, thank you so much. Evelyn, Mtronics, Priya, Jody, you guys are just amazing. Belle, Christina, thank you for saying so. I freaking live for your Lala. Punk Rock Girl, welcome to the membership. Chickenhead, PK Neely, thank you so much. Amy, no flippin' why. You guys are all amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Witnesses, I got 4 tickets to the San Diego show in August. Oh, I cannot wait. Okay. I cannot wait to meet all of you at the San Diego show and the Arizona show. So I pinned in the live chat a link to get tickets to my San Diego comedy show, which will be August, It's August 10th. It's a Saturday. I will be at Mic Drop Comedy Club, and that is in San Diego. And everything you need to know is on that link. We only have 50 tickets available. So once they sell out, they'll be sold out. So get your tickets soon. There may or may not be some surprise guests there as well. And my show in Arizona will be in Chandler, Arizona at the Mic Drop Comedy Club there. And it'll be the 10th. Wait, no, the 8th. Oh my God. 8th in Arizona, 10th in San Diego. Everything is in the description of the video, the links to get tickets. There are more tickets. I think there's like 250 tickets to the Arizona show, but the San Diego one only has 50 tickets. So make sure you get your tickets and then let me know you got them. Witness, I cannot wait to see you. I'm so excited. Senna, thank you for the super chat. Love your channel and have watched you for years. Thank you so much. Have never sent this much money to any other. Is this for real? Am I going crazy? You are not going crazy. Everything else is cuckoo. Over here, we're just digesting it. It's group therapy. I appreciate you guys so much. I will be back very soon with another live. I gotta call a therapist. I gotta call my therapist after all of that. Just for a little extra, there's a little extra assurance or something. Oh my goodness. You guys, happy Saturday. I hope you're enjoying yourself. And like I always say, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Don't forget to smash that like and comment after the video post. Bye.
If you like what you